Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
Welcome to Up Tempo. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Following a big Super Tuesday in college basketball last night. Big games across the country, a couple of upsets to talk about too. I am Drake Toll, typically joined by J.D. Pickell, but his dog was cranky this morning. He had to take him for a walk at the dog park a little bit early today, so instead it's myself, Drake Toll, alongside Armstrong Sims. Richard's in studio today. So Richard Armstrong, has dropped off a plethora of Baylor memorabilia today, from Elite 8, the Elite 8 run stuff, a replica ring from the Baseball World Series run for Baylor, a gold helmet in case, hats galore, a banner from the Lady Bears National Championship run. Richard, you are our bear of the day today for bringing in everything. He's got the double thumbs up over there. He's in studio today to hang out with us for a little bit. And we'll be joined by a very special guest. So with the loss of J.D. Pickell today, who will come in at 1 o'clock. We'll have the Blonde Boys Power Hour from 1 to 2 today. We will play our typical green and blank game because it's Wednesday. But with the loss of J.D. Pickell, we had to call in reinforcement. We had to call in someone that is the very best at this, that is radio. So join in the second segment. I will have a special guest, and I cannot tell you all who it's going to be, but it's special, it's big, and you're not going to want to miss it. 11:15, we'll be joined by, again, someone very special, near and dear in my heart, and I'm sure yours too. I'm excited for it. Armstrong's smiling. Armstrong's excited for it. It's going to be big. Before that, though, biggest news last night in college athletics. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Chris Beard of Texas Tech. So Chris Beard in Texas Tech last night getting crew for going absolutely berserk. And you couldn't see it on that video, but he immediately walks over and fist bumps Bob Huggins. So he gets ejected from the game. Done. Your night's over, Chris Beard. But he decides then to go over, fist bump Bob Huggins because it's COVID. You can't shake his hand, say goodbye, and make his way out. I'm out. 47 fouls called. West Virginia took 40 free throws compared to Texas Tech's 20. 20. So while I want to get on the guy and be like, Chris Beard, why are you going nuts, bro? Like, this is, calm down. You're getting beat on your home floor. Your team hasn't done enough to win, period. Take your lumps, go home. 40 free throws for the opposing team. 40 free throws. 47 fouls called. Your team only has 20 free throws. If the officiating crew is going to call a tight game, call it both ways. It's tough to see that kind of disparity. To see that kind of disparity in a college basketball game, there's got to be something there. Also today, we're going to be joined by a couple different guests. Matthew Postins is coming on at 11:45. He's going to break down everything that we saw last night in collegiate basketball. Then Jordan Feuerbacher. Yeah, I know how to say his name now. Jordan Feuerbacher, a former Baylor football player who joins the co-host every Wednesday. He comes on today at 12:30. And then at 12:05, Alexis Cubitt joins us. She's a beat writer with the Lubbock Online, and so she'll join us. Lubbock Avalanche Journal. She'll join us to talk tonight's game. It is Lady Bear game day as Kim Mulkey and company take to Lubbock, Texas to face Texas Tech tonight, which is basically a pipeline feeder program for most of what the Lady Bears have done this season. Effectively, half of their players played for Texas Tech at some point or another, it seems like, and those two teams will square off. Reminder, last year, Kim Mulkey got 600 wins. Her 600th win was in Lubbock against Texas Tech in what was a tight ball game. And while Texas Tech may not be that great this season, right? They're not that great of a team. And I know when I was texting back and forth with Alexis about her coming on the show today, she's like, well, you know what is there really to look forward to that much? But Baylor has been spotty here and there from time to time, and Texas Tech has been volatile as well. They can stand up and play. We saw it last night. A huge upset on the women's side. I say huge. It's huge if you're a Baylor fan, as Iowa State lost to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's not very good at women's basketball this season. We saw them play in the Farrell Center, and they were poor, very poor. And then last night, Oklahoma beats Iowa State, the same Iowa State team that beat Baylor twice in a row in the last game last season, in the first game they played this season against the Lady Bears. And then last night, final score, Oklahoma 67-61. Also today, we're going to go through our Bear Games question of the day. If you could live in one Big 12 stadium for an entire fall, where would it be? So you have to attend the football games, you have to live there. I may even say DKR because it's probably the warmest one if you think about the fall weather. Maybe one of those in Oklahoma. Staying away from Ames, though. And then also today in our Mascot Madness bracket, the Bears are in action, Armstrong. The Bears are in action for the first time today. Speaking of, you didn't shave. You told me yesterday you were going to completely come in clean today.
I did. I did not shave. You're correct.
Well, I took away the beard and the mustache for myself.
I thought you were going to keep the mustache.
I should have.
No, it got late, and I was doing chores, and I figured I can wait on it shaving a day.
I wanted to look
Go
like
to bed
you.
early.
I wanted to look like you, and now here we are.
Here we are.
One of us has a beard and the other doesn't. For the first time in a while, actually. In the bracket today, the Oklahoma State Cowboys facing off with your Baylor Bears, and then the Mountaineers of West Virginia and the Longhorns. So it is a real-life Mountaineer against a real-life Longhorn who wins in a battle to the death, and a Bear against a Cowboy. Armstrong, I want to get your take first on the Bear and the Cowboy. If you're going to be objective here, this Cowboy's got a 6-shooter, and the Bear is simply a Bear. Who you got in that battle?
I got a Cowboy.
I think I got a Cowboy in that one. Oh, better question. Who do you think the fans are going to take?
The fans are going to take the Bear because the fans are homers.
Yes.
But I think if we're being unbiased about it, I think you got to go with the Cowboy. I think the Cowboy, he's got at least 6 shots, possibly 12.
Possibly 12.
So,
well, we would have seen Baylor basketball tonight. Number 2 Baylor, number 12 Oklahoma. That would have been in Norman. But cancellations, obviously, on the Baylor side have hindered that. But we will be breaking down games last night, including a little bit more of that number 14 West Virginia win by 11 at number 7 Texas Tech. We'll break down Arkansas and Kentucky, a 1-point win for the Razorbacks at Rupp Arena. How about Texas last night? Number 13 Texas struggling against Kansas State, 80-77, the final score of that one in the Little Apple in Manhattan. Texas barely escaping Kansas State. They have not been playing very well lately. Outside of that, and also in conference play last night, TCU struggled at home against Iowa State, but the Cyclones remain winless in Big 12 play. Now 2-12 overall. TCU is at 11-7 after the win. They are catching up, or they are now at 4-5 in Big 12 play. And if they win their next couple, they'll be in the thick of things for possibly being in that 2 spot in the Big 12. All right, I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. Again, Richard's joining us today, brought us a bunch of Baylor memorabilia to help deck out the desk and some of the other scenery here in the studio. We'll be joined by a very special guest as well here in about 5 minutes. Can't tell you who yet, but you're going to love it. Again, this is Up Tempo. Tee it up at McLean Stadium this winter as Top Golf Live takes over Waco. Top Golf Live brings the Top Golf experience to iconic stadiums around the country and will be held at McLean Stadium February 25th through February 28th. Join us for a once-in-a-lifetime experience as you take golf swings from the concourse of McLean Stadium. In addition to offering friendly competition, Top Golf Live transforms this iconic venue to create a truly unique event. Create memories with your friends, family, or coworkers this March when you choose the Top Golf Live Stadium Tour for your private parties. Special safety protocols will be implemented throughout the event to ensure Top Golf Live offers a healthy and safe environment to players. Top Golf Live tickets are on sale now at www.topgolflive.com. Book your tee times today as tickets are limited for this once-in-a-lifetime in-stadium golf experience. Premium packages are available as well. For more information on premium packages or to purchase your tickets today, please visit www.topgolflive.com or call 214-501-1320.
Super Tuesday in college basketball did not disappoint with tight games across the country. Starting in Big 12 play, Chris Beard was ejected in a wild game in Lubbock as number 14 West Virginia went on the road to beat number 7 Texas Tech 82-71, thanks to Sean McNeil's 26 points and Miles McBride's 20. Elsewhere, number 13 Texas won at Kansas State 80-77. TCU beat Iowa State in Fort Worth 79-76. Number 11 Alabama beat South Carolina on the road 81-78. Arkansas won at Rupp Arena over Kentucky 81-80. Notre Dame beat Duke at Cameron Indoor 93-89, and Butler upset St. John's in overtime 76-73. On the women's side, Oklahoma notched an upset against Iowa State at home 67-61, thanks to Maddie Williams' 27 points and 13 rebounds. And the women's NCAA tournament will be held entirely in San Antonio this season, similar to the men's bubble in Indianapolis. In collegiate baseball, Texas Tech starting pitcher and MLB hopeful Hunter Dobbins will miss the 2021 season due to a UCL injury. Dobbins was throwing 98 from the mound throughout practice. And in tennis, the ITA Indoor National Championship bracket has been set as Baylor, the 4 seed, will play Texas in round 1 and the winner of Illinois and USC if the Bears win. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Alan Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, welcome back into Up Tempo. I am Drake Toll, joined by David Smoak, Armstrong, Sims, and Richard are in here. Smokey, man, a little crossover action today. Thanks for coming on Up Tempo.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I do. I appreciate the time. It had to make me wake up a little bit earlier. I've actually been up for quite some time. Glad to have the time, man. You guys got all this stuff on the. Okay, who wears these? Armstrong, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's an Armstrong. Yeah, he's got the beard that goes with it.
I've seen Jay. I've seen Drake. I've seen with you've got this sunglass thing going on right now, like a sunglasses fetish or something.
I've tried to get him to shave the beard aside from just the mustache, and those glasses.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be here, man. Good to be here.
Yeah.
How you been, Robert? Nice to see you, buddy.
Oh, man. Great to have you. So Smokey, tell me, JD is out today, so we wanted to do a little crossover action and bring you on to the social media is already blowing up. They're excited about this.
I don't need to read it.
Tell me, though, what's been going on with the afternoon show? Kind of what have you guys been up to this past week?
Well, I was in Tampa. Paul and I flew into Tampa last Tuesday. We did our show from what was a minimized radio row inside the convention center on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was fortunate enough to go with my good friend Eric Horton to the game Sunday, which was unbelievable. Brady in his 7th Super Bowl. So that's kind of what we've been. And then right now we're kind of with football in neutral. And your coaches are, they're not traveling. They're not really. So that's kind of right now in neutral. And then the basketball team, this is a big deal. They've lost 5 games. Mac Rhodes, in fact, yesterday on our show, Right Armstrong, he mentioned that the Oklahoma State game, which would be a 6th game, is 50-50 right now. And so that's something to monitor. And it's terrible because they were playing at their peak of basketball at that particular time. But, we'll get into, I saw where the Mavericks are no longer playing the national anthem. We'll talk about that a little bit today among some other guests. But, that's kind of where we were last week.
Yeah, so tell me, too, you guys have had a lot of big-name guests on recently. Who have you had on as of late, and who's coming up?
Well, today we're really going to do a lot of things. I got some Boozer's Jewelers is one of our sponsors. He gave me some charms. I'll pass some of those along to you because of Valentine's coming up. So we're going to take more calls and texts than we normally would on a day today. We have a couple. I'm waiting on a couple of confirmations. I have a text back and forth, not dropping names because you've heard some of the names we've had. Bernie Kosar played for Marty Schottenheimer, who passed away yesterday at 77. No confirmation on him coming on, but we're trying to get him a couple of others. But, it's about the Baylor men's basketball. We're going to go full throttle with that topic. The national anthem and the Mavericks, we'll discuss that as well. And also there's the rumblings of Dak and Russell Wilson, which I think is just fodder. That's not going to happen. But I will be interested to see what people – would you take Russell Wilson now over Dak Prescott? You have Russell Wilson who's like 31 or 32 years old. You're not going to get the best Russell Wilson, and you wonder if Dak still has another level, and I think he does.
I love it. Smoak, look, the afternoon show and what you guys bring to the table, not just in Baylor sports, but across the realm in sports. I know you guys talked yesterday. One of the hot topics about Dak being left out of the hype video for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and we had somebody on, David Hellman of DallasCowboys.com. He says the guy who put that together, it was an oversight. Now, you can always look into the controversy. You could always make something out of it. How do you do a highlight video, even though he missed a lot of time, without Dak in some way? So there's always that conspiracy theory, although he said it was Derek Ingleton. He's a very good dude. He's very, very professional. That was an oversight because really, if you think back, last year was all about Dak getting hurt.
Yep.
Last year was all about the offensive linemen being riddled with horrible injuries. But it's hard to me, one of the parts of that video should have been Dak's injury or some sort of reaction to it.
Yeah. Well, Smokey, thanks again for joining us today. And what I want to do with you is we've got something we're going to call Smokey's Take on your lunch break. So that's the tagline of the show, is a Baylor take on your lunch break. Today it's Smokey's Take.
All right.
So I got about 10 or 12 questions.
I do have one of the questions was leaked to me by my sources, and I will go 0 for 5 on it. I will tell you, Armstrong, you know my weakness when it comes to music and stuff. So I'm going to go 0 for 5. I'm going to predict that right off the top.
Well, that is what we're going to get into. So our Music Monday, we're going to do Music Monday, the fans know, but what they've never seen is Music Monday a la David Smoak.
All right, you don't want to. This is going to get ugly.
Today's going to be an interesting experiment.
It might be the Super Bowl ugly here in a minute.
Oh my goodness! But okay. I got 10 or 12 questions for you.
All right,
1 minute response on each. So Smokey's Take.
Is there a stopwatch? Because I can easily blast right through that.
I got the stopwatch. Right, I'll give you like a 30-second warning on all of them. 15.
All right, we'll do it.
Question number 1. Can you make a case for Jared Butler winning the Naismith Trophy?
Absolutely you can. The problem, though, is this, you have Garza at Iowa. Gonzaga's got like 3 guys. They might all eat each other as far as the votes might. You have like when you have multiple MVP candidates. Illinois' got a player that I can't think of his name right now, but Baylor beat them straight up. The problem with Butler, and we had numerous analysts on the last couple, well, really since the season began, is about the time you started to see chatter of not his name in the conversation, but him being a viable candidate. Fran Fraschilla, Dick Weiss, some of the national people, they get shut down. Coming off the best win against Texas. Can I make it? Absolutely. The guy's unbelievable for a team that's 17-0. The problem, though, and realistically, they're now shut down during the stretch drive when you can really, if you wanted to take it to another level, to get the votes, and that probably in the end will cost him.
Boom! 54 seconds.
There you go.
You couldn't have timed that better. I didn't even have to give him a timer. Question 2. Realistically, how confident are you that Baylor football and this new offensive staff will fit?
Oh, I think I'm very confident in it. I think a new set of eyes, a new philosophy. I think Dave Aranda realized, maybe even very early last year, that they were a mess. and a lot of different reasons. Everyone can point the fingers at different reasons. I think the fact that you have the new offensive line philosophy with Mateos, and on top of that, your offensive coordinators, an offensive line coach in Jeff Grimes, that can't get any worse than it was last year. So, one, that's hope, but I know you need more than that. I really do think, and I knew the new blood when it comes to the quarterback room. Everyone knows I'm a huge Charlie Brewer fan, but I just think it can't get any worse, and you absolutely, I think, have to feel positive about what they're bringing to the table. Jeff Grimes is not going to be just an offensive coordinator. He will be a head coach, I would say, within the next 3 years, and I think that there is also a positive.
52 seconds.
There you go.
Come on with it. Question 3. Is Baylor a basketball school?
No, and I know that what the women have done with the 3 national titles, and I know what Scott Drew has done, which has been almost miraculous, and even what Kim did when she first arrived, when there was such a mess at Baylor. I know those are the most right now highly recognizable, like elite teams, and there's all the spring sports and all of them, they're doing well. Listen, no energy ever was around Baylor more than it was when they won those back-to-back Big 12 titles. Football still is the straw that stirs the drink. Even though they're 2-7 and 4 years ago 1-11, nothing brings passion, no matter the success of men's and women's basketball, like a football program when it's healthy. And so, yes, even though they don't have the same history and tradition, I still think it's a football school.
46 seconds. Is this Lady Bears basketball team Final Four caliber?
The easiest thing would say, of course they are, because of what Kim Mulkey's accomplished. Something is missing. They have, first of all, they had their shutdown and the pause or whatever. Here's what I see from them. They have 2 bigs inside in Queen Egbo, and obviously in Alyssa Smith, who's on a phenomenal run. Dee Richards is a miracle that she's back playing the way she is, and Moon Urson. They have the weapons. Carrington, of course. Here's the problem. They don't play well defensively inside. Their bigs are both good, but they're not Lauren Cox, they're not Kalani Brown, and they surely are not able to maybe help when somebody is beaten off the dribble with the block shots and with the space and the intimidation of a Lauren Cox. That's who they miss. They're good, but I want to see much more from them. But right now, I don't think they're a Final Four team.
53 seconds. Number 5, what makes Dave Aranda a great defensive mind?
Most defensive coordinators, and not all of them, you think of them as kind of like the crazy, wild, out of control, hair on fire, full throttle. And now not all of them, Lovie Smith, Tony Dungy, who Dave Aranda has leaned on Tony Dungy quite a bit. Dave Aranda's defense last year, we saw what happened, like what they did against Oklahoma, what they did initially against Iowa State before the dam broke. I think that why he's good is that he wants to put pressure. He'll find your weakness. And one of the things is along the way, he is someone that soaks it in. He doesn't say much. He's always thinking. He's been at some really good places. Wisconsin, obviously, LSU. We saw what he did 2 years ago when he changed what they were doing defensively. And yes, LSU won the national title because of Burrow in the offense. Dave Aranda is someone that just absolutely is almost a genius when it comes to X's and O's on defense.
57 seconds. Number 6. How did you get into sports media?
Well, I loved it. When I was growing up, and I played games at my desk in my bedroom. I would sit there and act like I was doing box scores. I would act like I was doing play-by-play. And if back then there would have been cell phones that recorded it, I never would have gotten into the business because that would have been the first impression, and I was awful. But I just love sports, and I one day realized I'm never going to play it at a level after high school, so why not cover it? And that's how I got into it. Eventually, I flunked the test at Stephen F. Austin early on, a journalism class. Professor brought me into his office, said something's got to give here. He asked me if I would do sports updates at the student radio station. That's how I started. That's what turned me on to it, and it's been that way since 30, almost 40 years.
50 seconds. Number 7, what is the funniest thing to happen to you in sports
I thought
media?
about this because there's probably a lot, but I was doing Tyler Junior College basketball. It was play-by-play, and I did on court side. And at halftime, I would always have like a 2 or 3 minute interview in between a 2 or 3 minute break on each side to allow me to have a chance to go get a drink, to go to the bathroom, whatever. I ran up the tunnel, which was not a really long run, ran up the tunnel, went to the urinal to pee. I'm not kidding. I had a flip phone. It was on the railing. As I went to flush the toilet, The flip phone popped out the railing into the toilet, straight down. I wasn't worried about losing the phone. I was petrified because of all the contacts I had inside my phone. That happened.
Number 8, that was 40 seconds. Wow, Smokey and his phone in a urinal.
It took 2 seconds down the urinal.
Number 8, out of Brian, Ashley, and Colt, who could grow the best beard?
Brian, Ashley. Ashley doesn't seem... Well, Ashley's got a little goatee, though.
A little scruff.
Brian, redheaded. Probably not a good match. Colt, I haven't seen... Does Colt have facial hair?
I think Colt's got some scruff, too. That's the thing. They've all got
Colt's
some scruff.
got the darker hair. Colt has the darker hair. I'm going to go with the darker hair. That's Colt.
Colt Barber is the best to grow a beard. I'm sure they're all listening, too. I'm sure they're all here.
I may not be doing the afternoon show here in a minute.
Number 9, who wins in a fight? Prime David Smoak or prime Paul Catalina?
Well, Paul he's strong. I mean, I've seen him bench. I would wear him out. That's first of all. Even a young David Smoak or young Paul Catalina. Here's the difference in that. I would wear him out, but I lived in Japan for 4 years, and I actually was wrestling for a year. I played all the various sports, even lacrosse. So that means I'm kind of a tougher guy. The other thing is, if you live in Japan, at some point when you walked off the base, you encountered gangs with nunchucks, and I survived one of those. So I learned how to use them myself. And so if I didn't wear him down or I didn't beat him, I would use the nunchucks, and that would be the difference.
Oh, my goodness. You're taking nunchucks to Paul Catalina today. How about number 10? And this is tough because one of them's here. Who has better hair?
Oh, my God.
Armstrong,
we
Sims,
talked
or
about
J.D.
this with
Pickell?
Armstrong. I bought him a hat coming back from the Super Bowl. He's got that really, it's kind of a deceiving thick hair. And it's very well tightened. It's Armstrong, he does the show. I have to go with Armstrong. J.D. is like a model, though. I mean, J.D.'s got that. You know what? I'm picking against J.D. for another reason, and he knows this. I was at H-E-B a couple of nights ago. He was walking down one of the aisles. I said, hey, what's up, J.D.? Walked right by me. I went around the other side. JD, how you doing? Walked right by me. I texted him. I said, were you at H-E-B Woodard Acres? He goes, yeah. You dished me twice. He said, I had my earplugs in, or I had my iPods or whatever. I know I'm going over a minute here. So screw JD. Armstrong's got better hair.
Armstrong's good, but that was at 48 seconds, so you still made it. And then number 11, if you could have one SicEm365 staff member be your personal bodyguard, who's it going to be?
Have you ever seen Brian Etheridge when he gets upset about something?
Oh, about Baylor football?
About anything. About business? About anything that, someone may say about SicEm365 Radio that's an idiot. I'm taking Brian. I'm taking Brian. And that's with all due respect to anybody else. My personal bodyguard, I've seen Brian Etheridge when he gets a little heated. He kind of reminds me of the temper that I have. I'm taking Brian Etheridge.
Brian Etheridge. And number 12, if one SicEm365 staff member could babysit your newborn, who would it be?
Well, it would be Craig.
Craig's going to babysit
But Craig was our newborn, so he can't babysit himself. He was our first child.
It is Craig, right? Craig. Yeah. Someone's got to babysit Craig.
Oh, my God. Who do I trust to do that? I would say maybe Paul.
Wow, Paul's babysitting Craig.
Paul's kind of like the happy. Everyone loves the Uncle Paulie, right? He takes care of Luke and Leo, so I would say Paul.
Paul Catalina.
By the way, on the protector, would it not be Rob Solon? I mean, think about it. Armstrong, would that not be a better answer?
That is a better answer.
He's a monster. Okay, all right.
Armstrong, Rob Solon or Zach?
Well, I feel much more comfortable now that Rob has started interning, in studio in case anything happens.
If anyone's barging into here, then we have protection. No question about it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Smokey, that was your Smokey's take.
All right.
I could not have dreamed that it would go that swimmingly.
There's very few people that know about the urinal and the cell. But think about it. Back in the day when you transferred phones, it was a bulky device that you had to plug it into your phone. It took forever, like an hour. And I had hundreds and hundreds of contacts. I was petrified. Somehow we regained a few of them, but it was not there were no SIM cards, I don't think, back then. I don't know if there were or not, but now at least there's a SIM card.
Wow.
That's downloaded, iCloud, whatever that goes. All right.
Smokey, before we hit a break and get you out of here.
Here's when I go for 5.
Music Monday has become a staple on this show. So I'd be remiss if we didn't have a crossover without playing Music Monday, but it's classic rock. So this is stuff that
it should be in my wheelhouse, but I'm terrible with names of bands and songs. And Armstrong, you know that.
I do, yeah.
So that's why you actually.
Well, I'm not sure how easy or hard, difficult this is going to be. To me, it seemed easy, but who knows?
All right. What am I supposed to do?
So you're supposed to. We're going to play the song, 5-second clips of 5 songs right in a row. So you get a point for a song title and a point for artist name.
Yeah,
paper.
So if you want to write it down, and we'll play it twice.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right,
it is.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, Armstrong, not bad. This is
Smokey.
Oh no!
You got anything?
All right.
Wait.
We play it twice.
Is the first one the Eagles?
Wait, we're gonna play it again.
Okay. All right.
All right. You ready?
I'm so bad at this. This is awful. I should know that one, but I don't.
Okay.
I should know the last one too, but I
You
don't.
should know
Okay.
the last one. All right, the first one. What'd you get?
I don't know the name of the song. The Eagles.
That is correct. You get 1 point for Smokey.
I've already done more. I've won. Is the second
Drake,
song? Okay, go ahead.
What'd you get?
I had the Eagles.
All right.
That's all I've got.
What's the name of the song? Somebody Found Me?
The name of the song is Heartache Tonight.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, good.
All right.
All right, second song.
I have no idea the name of the song.
Okay.
Rolling Stones?
Correct. That's 1 point.
I've got Rolling Stones, Just a Shot Away.
No. The song title is Gimme Shelter.
Give me shelter.
All right.
So that's 2 to 2.
2 to 2.
The next
third
one's
song.
kind of a heavy metal one, isn't it? Maybe
No,
not? Okay.
A little bit.
All right.
To an extent.
All right. I have no idea the name of the song, and I'm just going to guess Ozzy Osbourne.
No, incorrect.
The name of the song is 55.
Incorrect.
Oh, what is it?
Do you have an artist? No.
No, I don't have an artist.
The name of the song is I Can't Drive 55.
Oh, he should
By
get
Sammy
get a
Hagar.
quarter of a point.
All right, so give me a quarter.
And the name, who sang that?
Sammy Hagar.
Sammy Hagar.
I think Ozzy Osbourne and Sammy Hagar are pretty close.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
We'll both get a quarter
I
of a
have
point.
no idea. I should these last two,
Still
but
tied.
I'm going blank. Can you play 4 and 5 again?
Here, let's play. You want to play it
Let's
again?
play it one more time. Let's play it one more time.
Here
we go.
God, I'm terrible.
Heartache Tonight.
Okay.
That was Gimme Shelter.
All right.
Oh man, this may be close. I feel like Smokey's cooking up right now.
No, I'm not. I'm completely blank. I am.
Okay.
All right, so it's tied. So for song 4, did you get anything?
I have no idea the name of the song. I'm trying to think of the name of the band.
Okay.
Rush.
No, incorrect.
Is it the name of a city that's in the Northeast? Is it Boston?
It's Boston.
Oh my.
So it's Boston.
And
All
see,
right,
that's my wheelhouse time.
3,
like Boston, Styx, and all them. Okay.
Okay, there's 3 to 2, and then song 5.
Okay, play 5 again. I'm telling you, I know. I'm a break beater. I mean,
They're all smashed together, so we'll listen to them all again.
all right. I have no idea. All right, the number 5 is it REO Speedwagon?
That is a good guess.
It is a good guess.
But it's incorrect.
Okay.
Do you have the song?
No, I have no idea.
Smokey, I hate to tell you that it's Renegade by the Styx.
Oh,
Styx,
okay. And
yes.
Styx is my favorite. That's not one of my favorite Styx songs, though. Like Lady or a couple of those are my favorite
Come
Styx
Sail
songs.
Away.
Come Sail Away, yeah.
Both those. Crystal Ball.
Okay, here's the thing, though. I was given my odds. I was a -3 underdog here.
So you actually win.
I won 5-4.
There's a handicap? There's a handicap?
Yeah. So I think that's fair.
It's like playing golf. I'll give you 2 each side, right?
Oh, my goodness.
No, he wins. I'm stunned that I basically had to guess on. I knew the Eagles. But the Rolling Stones, it could have been.
You landed more than you gave yourself credit for.
Most of the last 2 songs, I cut it off right before they sang the title.
Yeah, but REO Speedwagon and Rush, at least I got within in the neighborhood.
He was there.
You did.
He was
you
there.
Were in the
neighborhood.
All right. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims running production. A little crossover action from the afternoon show, SicEm365 Radio with David Smoak, Paul Catalina, Craig Smoak, 3 to 6 on the same outlet you're watching this right here.
Yep.
David Smoak, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Great to have you. This is Up Tempo.
Super Tuesday in college basketball did not disappoint with tight games across the country. Starting in Big 12 play, Chris Bearder was ejected in a wild game in Lubbock as number 14 West Virginia went on the road to beat number 7 Texas Tech 82-71, thanks to Sean McNeil's 26 points and Miles McBride's 20. Elsewhere, number 13 Texas won at Kansas State 80-77. TCU beat Iowa State in Fort Worth 79-76. Number 11 Alabama beat South Carolina on the road 81-78. Arkansas won at Rupp Arena over Kentucky 81-80. Notre Dame beat Duke at Cameron Indoor 93-89, and Butler upset St. John's in overtime 76-73. On the women's side, Oklahoma notched an upset against Iowa State at home 67-61, thanks to Maddie Williams' 27 points and 13 rebounds. And the women's NCAA tournament will be held entirely in San Antonio this season, similar to the men's bubble in Indianapolis. In collegiate baseball, Texas Tech starting pitcher and MLB hopeful Hunter Dobbins will miss the 2021 season due to a UCL injury. Dobbins was throwing 98 from the mound throughout practice. And in tennis, the ITA Indoor National Championship bracket has been set as Baylor, the 4 seed, will play Texas in round 1 and the winner of Illinois and USC if the Bears win. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culture Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culture Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culture Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culture Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culture Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, welcome back into Up Tempo today. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Breaking down a big night in college basketball last night, Super Tuesday. Couple of games on Monday as well, and to help us recap it all, we got Matthew Postins of Heartland College Sports on the show again this week. Thanks for joining us, Matthew.
Hey, thanks, Drake. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's start with the obvious last night. I usually like to work our way into the big stuff, but man, it would go. I'd be remiss if we didn't start with Texas Tech, West Virginia last night. What an absolute bout.
Yeah, you can't really work your way into that, admittedly, the way that game went down. They've played 2 games this year, and I feel like those games have been probably 2 of the best games in the conference this year, just because they seem to be so evenly matched in terms of personnel. The styles of ball they play now are very similar. West Virginia came in there on a winning streak. Tech had been playing well. And, the separator in that game really became, both teams had foul trouble, but Tech had their foul trouble later in the game and lost Santos Silva and lost McClung in the final minute and a half of the game. And then, of course, Chris Beard went off, and that was pretty much the end of the ball game. But it was a really good road win for West Virginia. And when you think about it, for them, they're now, I wouldn't say they're firmly in second place in the conference, but they've got a game on everybody now in the conference. And winning a game like that on the road, that does a lot for them in terms of the eyes of the committee. They're trying to get into maybe a 3 or a 4 seed for the tournament. That's the kind of win that the committee is going to look back on and say that's the kind of team we want in the bracket in March. That's the kind of team we want in a top 4 seed in March.
As an objective journalist that you are, when you look at Chris Beard and his tangent he went on last night with less than 30 seconds to go in the game, and then you see 47 fouls called, West Virginia took 40 free throws compared to Tech's 20. Is that just the way this game was played, or did the officiating seem spotty to you?
I think it was a little of both. I think there were some areas where they could have let some stuff go. I mean, the 5th foul on Mac McClung was a real touch foul. At the same time, I think Chris Beard probably thought it was a touch foul. I think he also probably went to Mac McClung after the game and said, dude, you can't take that 5th foul like that. I mean, that was basically just a minor body check up at the top of the key, and maybe the ref should have let that go, but at the same time, you can't put yourself in that position. The fouls themselves weren't actually that out of balance. I think Tech had 27 and West Virginia had 20, but West Virginia got so many more free throws because they were getting contact at the basket more often. They were getting in the bonus faster, which enabled them to get to the free throw line more often. So if you want to sit there and talk about the disparity, that's the disparity. Some of that was probably legitimate. Some of that was probably just the vagaries of officiating in the Big 12. I think most coaches will tell you, most coaches will complain about it, but they also know that they have the ability to affect that by sending their guys to the basket and trying to draw their own fouls. But, West Virginia just either did a better job of that last night, or they just got a few more favorable calls from the officials than Tech did in that regard.
When you analyze Chris Beard's actions, too, this will undoubtedly go down as one of the craziest coaching rants of all time. It will be in those compilations on YouTube just because he hits the ground and is like gunning for the timeout. I mean, it's so emphatic. When you see those actions, is that representative of a coach that's just standing up for his team and his guys, or was it a little bit overkill?
Maybe a little bit of overkill, but I think he was. I think he had been primed with the last foul of McClung, the last foul in Santos Silva. That was kind of a touch foul too. Honestly, that was one that the officials could have let go. I think he was probably frustrated by the free throw disparity. I think he was frustrated, late in the game. They were in it and they couldn't make some good looks to try and make it less than a one possession game. So I think a lot of that just came to the surface. And Chris Beard is a very passionate head coach. He's not going to be one who's going to hold his emotions back, but there's no telling. I mean, I had to record that off the TV and put it on my Twitter feed because I'm not sure I've ever seen anything quite like that, where he just unloaded like it was a 35-second therapy session and walked off the floor. But respect to him for, going over and dabbing Bob Huggins on his way out, showing a little sportsmanship. But, it's, coaches get frustrated like that. I've been around the game a long time. And sometimes on some nights, those things boil over. Some of them it happens because it happens. With other coaches, it happens because they're trying to get something across to their team. And, for Beard, it could be, getting his team to understand that, nights like that are going to happen, where there's a foul disparity and there's a free throw disparity, and you're going to have to find a way to overcome it. And that, might have been the lesson that he might have been trying to convey to his team late in the game, or maybe he just wanted to vent.
Yeah, he got his money's worth. That's for sure.
He did. He absolutely got his
money's worth. And really, outside of that game last night, the one thing that stuck out to me, I expected TCU, Iowa State to be tight. Both of those teams are kind of volatile right now. TCU, maybe they're getting hotter as we speak than they started out their Big 12 stretch. But the thing that really stood out was how tightly Kansas State played Texas last night. Does that speak more to Kansas State or more to Texas right now?
I think it speaks a bit more to Kansas State right now, because when you have a young team like they have, they're going to struggle. And I've seen this in the conference the past few years. When you have a really young team and you're trying to get them to play together, they really struggle early on in conference play. They lose a lot of games. They lose a lot of games that they could potentially win just because of their inexperience. And now that we're in the back half of the conference schedule, these guys like Nigel Pack and Davian Bradford and Celta Miguel, they have a little experience now. So when a team comes to their place like Texas, which in of itself is reeling at the moment, they had lost 3 straight and had lost 4 or 5. You can potentially catch them kind of unawares, and I think that's part of what Kansas State did last night. They just didn't quite have enough experience at this point to get over the hump. But I was surprised it was a one possession game so late in the game. I figured at some point Texas's athleticism and just overall ability to create mismatches with their front court and their back court would overcome Kansas State and put the game away. But they were in that game till the very last minute, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if Kansas State reached up and upset somebody they shouldn't upset over the next couple of weeks. That's what young teams do when they get to this stage in the season, because they have nothing else to play for except the Big 12 tournament and maybe winning a game there. So for them, beating a Texas or beating an Oklahoma or beating a Baylor, that'd be a huge deal for them and would be a huge springboard for them going into next year, because the vast majority of that team is coming back next year.
With Texas, too, right now, they have not been the same since they came back from their COVID stretch, and that's how most teams are. That's not really a surprise for anybody. When you look at this Longhorn squad, are they due for a resurgence this season, or do they just seem kind of stuck right now?
I think that, Andrew Jones is playing great. I mean, he's playing out of his mind right now. He's playing some of the best basketball of anybody in the conference. I think the rest of the team is a bit stuck right now, and I think that the way Shaka handles this team, I think he can get them unstuck. Greg Brown had a good game last night. They really need him to start getting back to being the consistent player he was for them on the wing a month ago. They've got a good thing going with Kai Jones coming off the bench. Where they really need a little additional juice is from Courtney Ramey and Matt Coleman. They're two very talented guards. They can just get a little bit more out of them and just get their shot going a little bit more than it's been going the last couple of weeks. Then I think that I think they'll kind of get on track. I think, we've seen it now with, West Virginia, Texas, TCU, teams coming off those stretches. They come back and they're sluggish. TCU's first game after their COVID stretch was against Kansas, and that was a night where they could have beaten Kansas and Lawrence. They weren't there yet after being off for a week and a half. So I think there's a potential run for Texas coming, and I think it's going to hinge on those other guards aside from Andrew Jones kind of getting back on track.
Last night as well, TCU and Iowa State. Iowa State led the game with less than 10 minutes to go, and it looked like they could have picked up their first win in conference play, but what has happened all year, Iowa State fell in the end. And TCU, now a team that is in the middle of the pack all of a sudden in the Big 12. They cannot be held out of the conversation for finishing top 5 in the conference, which is not something I thought we'd say a month ago. Does it seem like TCU and Jamie Dixon could pick up their lumps and win another 4 or 5 games in conference play?
It's possible. They've got to get Mike Miles back. He actually missed last night's game, which I think is one reason why that game was so close. He's their talented freshman. He's going to be all Big 12 freshman this year. He's really been a catalyst for them offensively, along with R.J. Nembhard and Kevin Samuel. Iowa State had every chance to win that game last night. I didn't watch much of it, but I went back and I watched the last couple of minutes of it. And there was this point, I think, with about 20 seconds left where TCU was inbounding the ball underneath Iowa State's basket. They were up 3. They were up 2 at that point in time. It was a 1-possession game, and Iowa State just had a horrible defensive breakdown, and they inbounded it to P.J. Fuller on basically a Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski touchdown pass to the other end of the floor, and there was nobody defending at the other end, to the point where I think P.J. Fuller actually looked at Jamie Dixon at one point on the sidelines like, can you believe I'm this wide open? I mean, it was just, I was like, wow. And that was how Iowa State ended up losing the game. So, TCU is starting to gather up some steam, just like I think Texas is. Iowa State's playing a lot better. I think they have the potential, like Kansas State, to reach up and kind of grab somebody. They got Kansas twice this week. That's all I'm saying. They got Kansas Thursday. They got Kansas Saturday. Kansas played better against Oklahoma State. They had 5 players in double figures. But, Kansas has not been the most consistent team in this conference. So, if they can get consistent scoring from somebody other than Rasir Bolton at Iowa State, then they can really make things difficult for somebody in this conference. But they just haven't gotten there yet. They have a guy here and there who gives them a couple of good games. Probably the most consistent player outside of Rasir Bolton is Jalen Coleman-Lands, the senior transfer out of DePaul. But they don't seem to have a consistent number 2 scoring option right now. And I think that's the biggest thing hindering them from getting that first Big 12 win.
It is unbelievable to me that Iowa State currently sits at winless in conference play. Not only that, but on their season, they're 2-12. The same Iowa State team. It almost makes me think how great they've been the last decade, and then it all just drops like that. It's almost as if, hey, it's a wake-up call. This Baylor team could be in the same position 5 years from now if anything hits the fan. So it's just weird. If you'd have told me 3 years ago, hey, Iowa State will be 2-12 overall in a season, I wouldn't believe you. I think you were talking about football. But no, here they are in basketball playing really. And I say they played poorly. They, like you said, they're starting to catch up a little bit. They've got the chance to bite somebody. So that's where I want to go with Kansas. Kansas right now, 13-7 overall, an upset win over Oklahoma State. Upset. But I still can't figure this Kansas team out, and we're 20 games into the season. Is there any consistency with them, and do you think Iowa State will catch them?
I don't think there's a lot of consistency with Kansas right now. I mean, they probably played their best game in conference against Oklahoma State. I mean, you had 5 players in double figures. You had 3 players with double doubles. To me, the key for them all season has been David McCormick, their junior center. When he plays well, when he is at least semi-dominant, that makes life easier for the rest of that team because they don't really have an alpha dog scorer on the perimeter. They have good players. They have guys that can shoot well. They have guys that can score, but they don't really have a Devin Dotson from last year or a Devontae Graham from 2 years before that. So they really have to kind of go with the hot hand on the outside. But if McCormick is productive inside, he was the other night against Oklahoma State. He had 23 and 10, I think. He can anchor what they do with their inside-out game and give their outside guys opportunities by sucking defenders to him and giving them more open shots on the perimeter. On the nights where McCormick's not playing well or he's not very productive, you've seen it, against Texas the first time around. He had a terrible game and didn't play much. Against West Virginia last weekend, he did not have a particularly productive game, in my opinion. So, he's really got to play at a high level to help the rest of this team succeed. And if he can do that consistently the rest of the way out, the schedule is favorable for them. They still have 2 games with Iowa State. They still have a game with Kansas State. They have an opportunity to get back into the AP top 25 next week, especially if they win both of these games against Iowa State. I think they're going to struggle on the road with Iowa State. And I think if you're Iowa State, that's your opportunity to reach up and get Kansas, because I don't think that they're going to be able to beat them at home.
Very briefly, obviously we're missing Baylor and Oklahoma tonight. It would have been the marquee game in the Big 12 and maybe even the country, a top 15 matchup in Norman that I think if things stayed like they would have, you would have likely seen Oklahoma win that one. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but I think Baylor's got to trip up somewhere, and Oklahoma's been a dangerous team. And then Baylor and Texas Tech would have been Saturday, a hungry Texas Tech team, a top 10 matchup in Waco would have been great to see as well. But with both of those gone, hopefully we see them again, but I'm sure you too were looking forward to those matchups.
Oh, yeah, I definitely was. I kind of felt like Texas Tech was the team that, could, reach up and get Baylor this weekend. But, now you got to think about the fact, what do you do with Baylor now if you're the Big 12? Here's your best team, your undefeated team, and they're going to miss by the time they get back right on Saturday the 20th, they'll have missed 5 games. Now you got 6 games you got to reschedule. And it's not just because Baylor needs to reschedule them. It's because they're playing Texas and because they're playing Oklahoma and because they have West Virginia twice. And those games matter to those schools when it comes to seeding for the Big 12 tournament. So you have that. You have West Virginia now has, I think, 3 games to reschedule. One of the games that they were going to play against Baylor was a rescheduled game. It's crazy because Baylor's had more problems with this than anybody in the conference. Just about everybody's had a pause at some point. Baylor's the only team that I can think of in the Big 12 that has had 3. And that's just, I can't wrap my brain around how that keeps happening to Baylor. And football was kind of the same way. I think they had more COVID pauses with football than anyone. So, regardless of that, the Big 12 has to now figure out, because they only have a 1-week buffer week between the end of the regular season and the Big 12 tournament, which the Big 12 said on Monday they're committed to still playing, is, how are you going to do this? You're going to have to prioritize games. And unfortunately, Baylor has like 4 priority games that it needs to play to help sort out how the standings are going to look if the Big 12 wants to be respectful to the double round robin. If they don't, I would just say after the end of the regular season, just shut it down. These are our standings. Everybody take the week off. We'll meet in Kansas City. But it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do after that last week in February.
I am very, very interested to see whether or not that Big 12 tournament will be played. I think it will. It looks like right now, especially after the Big 10's announcement, that almost reaffirms that they will play the tournament now that's moved to Indianapolis, that the Big 12 will still play. And Matthew, I'd love to ask you about that, but we're going to save it because that's going to become a hot topic in the next couple of weeks. Where I want to finish, though, Oklahoma and West Virginia. Number 12, Oklahoma at West Virginia this Saturday is the one that jumps out to me. What do you expect to see in that one?
I think that's going to be a really good game. And just we keep getting these rolling nights of ranked teams playing each other. I know Kansas wasn't ranked on Monday, but that was basically a matchup of the number 22 and number 26 team in the country when you consider Oklahoma State and Kansas. I love what West Virginia is doing with their perimeter game now. They didn't have Taz Sherman last night. That's okay. Sean McNeil just had a career high 25 points, so no big deal. And it kept driving me nuts during the broadcast. I kept talking about how Sean McNeil has really struggled. I'm like, go back and look at the last 5 games. 4 of them have been in double figures, and he's been coming off the bench. So he's basically like a third guard for them. He started at the beginning of the season before they flipped Taz Sherman into the lineup. So they're shooting the ball well. Derek Culver has to avoid foul trouble. That's a big, big deal. That was a big deal the other night against Texas Tech. He missed like 10 minutes in the second half being in foul trouble. When he's on the floor, I'm not sure that there's a forward or a center that can really compete with him, except maybe David McCormick. But I think Culver's better than McCormick at this point. So it's really going to be, can Oklahoma control West Virginia's interior game with Derek Culver? And can West Virginia's perimeter game, in a sense, kind of overwhelm the solid perimeter game for Oklahoma? When they met in December, I believe Oklahoma got a huge lead in that game, if I remember right. West Virginia came back, but ended up losing the game. And at that time, they still had Oscar Tshiebwe on the floor. They still only had 3 guards. Now they match up a little bit differently because West Virginia is a little bit smaller. And with Brady Manick back in the starting lineup, Oklahoma's a little bit bigger. So that's going to be the real contrast to watch, I think, on Saturday, is how Oklahoma defends Derek Culver inside, and then conversely, how well West Virginia shoots from the outside, because Oklahoma, between Devian Harmon, Brady Manick, Austin Reeves, you bring in Umoja Gibson and Elijah Harkless off the bench, they've got 5 really good weapons from the perimeter that can really hurt you.
Well, let me ask you, Matthew, before we get you out of here, our Bear Games question of the day today. If you could live in one Big 12 football stadium for the entire fall, which one would it be?
Oh, interesting. I've been to most of them. I got to think about that for a minute.
I will say, you can't say,
think about it.
You shouldn't say Ames, because it's going to be freezing.
Well, you got to think about that, but they got suites and everything like that. Mm-hmm. They got, you got to think about where you're going to sleep, where you're going to live. I tell you where this isn't Big 12, but I'll tell you where the best place, oddly enough, Jacksonville State University in Jacksonville, Alabama. They have a press box for their stadium. They've built dorms into the press box. That is where their football players live during the season.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nuts. But if I got to pick a Big 12 team, I'm in the Dallas area, so I guess I got to pick TCU because it's close.
Wow.
And good view of Fort Worth in the top of the stadium, good amenities. Big gym area in the south end zone where their field house is. I'd probably pick TCU.
I will accept that this one time. We're doing a mascot madness bracket too this week, Matthew. If these mascots took on real life, if they became real, so like an actual bear or an actual cowboy, who wins in a fight to the death between a bear and a cowboy?
Oh. Is the cowboy armed?
The cowboy's armed. I know.
Yeah, I got to go with the cowboy.
You got to go with the cowboy. I will say Baylor fans on our current polls would disagree with you, not surprisingly. But yeah, I got to go cowboy. Also, the other one, a Mountaineer or a Longhorn? The Mountaineer is also armed.
Mountaineer is also armed, so I think I got to go with the Mountaineer because the Longhorn's not going to move that fast.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Uga aside, at the Sugar Bowl, Longhorn's not going to move that fast. They're quick, but they're not fast.
I love it. This analysis right here is why we have Matthew Postins on every Wednesday. Matthew, thanks so much for joining us today. Again, you guys can catch all of his content on Heartland College at Heartland College Sports. Matthew, thanks again.
Hey, you bet.
Great to have you on again. That was Matthew Postins. Here's what we got coming up next. We are joined by a Texas Tech beat writer to talk tonight's women's basketball game between Baylor and Texas Tech. We'll be right back on Uptempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the number one selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership, online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Super Tuesday in college basketball did not disappoint with tight games across the country. Starting in Big 12 play, Chris Beard was ejected in a wild game in Lubbock as number 14 West Virginia went on the road to beat number 7 Texas Tech 82-71, thanks to Sean McNeil's 26 points and Miles McBride's 20. Elsewhere, number 13 Texas won at Kansas State 80-77. TCU beat Iowa State in Fort Worth 79-76. Number 11 Alabama beat South Carolina on the road 81-78. Arkansas won at Rupp Arena over Kentucky 81-80. Notre Dame beat Duke at Cameron Indoor 93-89, and Butler upset St. John's in overtime 76-73. On the women's side, Oklahoma notched an upset against Iowa State at home 67-61, thanks to Maddie Williams' 27 points and 13 rebounds. And the women's NCAA tournament will be held entirely in San Antonio this season, similar to the men's bubble in Indianapolis. In collegiate baseball, Texas Tech starting pitcher and MLB hopeful Hunter Dobbins will miss the 2021 season due to a UCL injury. Dobbins was throwing 98 from the mound throughout practice. And in tennis, the ITA Indoor National Championship bracket has been set as Baylor, the 4 seed, will play Texas in round 1 and the winner of Illinois and USC if the Bears win. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
And welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I am Drake Toll alongside Armstrong Sims, joined today by Alexis Cubitt from Texas Tech, the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Alexis covers women's basketball for the Lady Raiders. Alexis, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Definitely love what you guys are doing. I know you're getting started on that. So, yeah, kudos to y'all.
Thank you so much. We've enjoyed being on the air for just a little bit over a month now, and we've enjoyed covering the Lady Bears this season. As volatile as their year has been, really, they've seen a lot of the ups and downs that COVID has brought. I know every program has dealt with that, and really kind of delving into what we expect to see tonight. You've got a Baylor team that's 9-1 in conference play. Texas Tech 4-9 4-9, but what really jumps off the page to me is Tech's played 3 more games than the Lady Bears in conference play. Right. This team, as they've seen their fair share of the gauntlet, and what do you make of how they've kind of braved that?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that Krista Gerlich, Texas Tech's coach, has talked about, is that everybody has had some kind of a COVID break. You know, they've had to not play games or reschedule games because of COVID. Tech hasn't had that. So they're going through, you know, the whole season. And then, you know, of course, she won't make excuses, but, you know, all the scandal that happened, you know, during the offseason in the fall, you know, Krista Gerlich coming in, it's just been a lot. And then y'all have Chrislyn Carr now, who transferred from Tech. It's just been a lot for these girls, and just learning Coach Gerlich's system, learning how to play together, having, you know, that transfer in December. So it's been really interesting to follow them. Consistency is obviously lacking a little bit, but that's as to be expected with the coach. You know, everybody's still learning one another. And so it's definitely been an interesting season. You see some glimmers from them, but other times it's just like shooting has been the big thing, where it just doesn't seem like, you know, they've been able to really get their shots off and be consistent with accuracy.
You know, I kind of want to start there with Carr transferring to Baylor. Before we really get into the game tonight, what kind of impact has that had on Texas Tech, and what impact could it have moving forward?
So obviously, you know, under Marlene Stallings, she was a starter. Even when she entered the transfer portal, I think that was in August, and Gerlich convinced her to stay. She was still a starter. She started every game that she was here. And so now with her transfer, they had to find someone to make up for that production, because really, when you look at it top to bottom, she was really the only one that was a true point guard. They have some girls now filling in, like Najee Murray, and then Bryn Gerlich, Krista Gerlich's daughter, who kind of runs the point a little bit. But that left a big hole there as far as just having that experience of being a floor general. And so you now see where Tech has taken the approach of basically by committee. You know, nobody's really playing a particular role per se. Everybody's kind of filling in where they can. So yeah, that Chrislyn one came out of the blue for a lot of people. I just remember looking at the roster. I'm like, okay, she's not there. And I had wanted to do a story on her because her rebounding had started getting a lot better. She wasn't scoring as much, but her rebounding started getting a lot better. And for someone who is not very tall, you know, that's kind of impressive for her. And then just kind of see she's gone. I'm like, okay, kind of interesting. I don't think they really talked about it much. It was just kind of like, you know, what's next? We have to keep building. We have to keep moving because, you know, like you said, this has just been a really weird year with COVID. And so not a whole lot of talk about her leaving, not a whole lot of talk about why she left. The most that I've heard her talk about it was when she was on here with David Smoak, Catalina and Craig Smoak, and gave her reasoning for it. But yeah, not a whole lot of communication on that end with her, but definitely one that kind of was an eyebrow raiser as far as the timing and the actual transfer.
Tell me, kind of transitioning from that into tonight, when Baylor and Texas Tech first squared off this season, the final score was 91-45, but a lot has happened since then on the Baylor side, especially when it comes to COVID, cancellations, a loss to Iowa State in conference play earlier this year. This game tonight in Lubbock seems like a much different feel than that first one in Waco.
To a certain extent, yeah, because then you had Baylor who went to Ames and got that win, and then Tech just went to Ames and lost for the second time. I don't know, Iowa State, they just, maybe it's Ashley Jones, but they just give people so much trouble.
But then they lose to Oklahoma.
Right, exactly. So Oklahoma clearly has the key that nobody else is seeing. But it's just one of those things where, you know, like, again, the consistency has been lacking on Tech's part. You know, it could be where one night they come out and have a really good, you know, shooting performance. Like they grinded out that win against Kansas State in overtime, ended up putting together a 19-0 run between the fourth quarter and overtime to win that one. But then, you know, against Iowa State, there's some struggles. So yeah, it should be really interesting to see how they respond to the challenge when Baylor comes to town. That's still going to be really, really tough. Because just that Baylor's defense is going to give them problems. Like I said, they're still kind of finding their shots. The main thing they thrive off of is kind of playing together, and the more assists they have, the better they do. Now, I will say the one difference is Hattie Faye, who's the freshman post player, had a really good past few games. She did not play in that game against Baylor the first time around because she was playing for, I think it was Team Senegal, in the kind of a world basketball tournament deal. And so she's going to be a difference maker. She's still kind of raw, but she's just really, really talented, had a good game against Kansas State, like I mentioned, even did some good things there at Iowa State. So really interested in seeing the impact she's going to make there in the paint. Obviously another body to kind of take away from Vivian Grace. So Baylor won't necessarily key in on Vivian too much. But it should be very, very interesting to see her be an X factor essentially in this game.
Looking across the way at Baylor, is there one specific player that stands out to you that makes the difference for the Lady Bears, or is this a team that wins by committee for the most part?
I think that's the thing about Baylor from my time, even being in school, is that they have so many different pieces. Like when I was in school, it was Brittany and Odyssey was the kind of the dynamic duo. And now you have, Moon and Dee and Carrington, just so many different pieces that make it really difficult. And I think the thing that they have over Tech is just the experience factor. Like Tech has had, their players do have a lot more, they have the experience, but it's just a different kind of experience because obviously they know the system that Mulkey runs. Tech girls are just kind of learning about Gerlich. So I think that's going to be the biggest advantage, but I don't know that there's one key player that you can kind of look at and say, okay, we need to shut her down, because as soon as you shut Moon down, you have somebody else coming along. And Dee Dee's played a really good season so far, especially all that she's had to overcome. And so, yeah, it's going to be tough for sure.
Alexis, as I understand it, you are a Baylor alumni.
I am.
Are you a Baylor Lariat alumni?
No, actually. So I actually wrote for the Baylor Bear Foundation with Jerry Hill. And so that was my experience. I got to cover Baylor women's basketball when they hosted, I believe it was the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament in 2014, my senior year, and got to cover them that season. So, yeah, not the Lariat, but the Baylor Bear Foundation. So shout out to those guys.
Some Jerry Hill action right there. So when you see these two squads square off, now covering Texas Tech in Lubbock against your alma mater, is there what's the rift in that? Obviously you're an objective journalist. You're not rooting for anybody, but what is that like?
Yeah, well, the way I look at it is one put me in debt and the other one is paying off my debt. So, it's not too hard to be objective there for sure.
The radio guy for the Arkansas Razorback baseball team, Phil Elson, him and I met up in Houston for a weekend series one time. I was covering Baylor. He was covering Arkansas, obviously. And I said, Phil, I grew up an Arkansas Razorback fan. I don't know who to root for. And he said, listen, root for the team that's paying you right now. And I was like, right. Okay, that's probably the best advice I've gotten in sports media. But
exactly. Every other game I'll be for Baylor. I love seeing them succeed. I think Kim Mulkey's an awesome coach, obviously a Hall of Famer. But for tonight, that goes out the window.
Yeah, tell me, you got to see Mulkey over the last decade in action and up close and personal. You talked about, I guess you were here for the Brittany Griner years and the championship then. What makes Kim Mulkey so good?
She's just a competitor. Everything she does. My grandpa watched her at Louisiana when she played in Louisiana, and she's always been feisty and had this really, I don't like to use the term chip on the shoulder because I feel like that's so overused. But she does. It doesn't matter how much she wins. She's still going to have that intensity. She's not going to overlook anybody. And that's what just makes her so fun as a coach, is that, what you see is what you get. And she's going to challenge her girls to play hard. They may not like her sometimes, but at the end of the day, they respect her. And I think that's huge in what she's been able to accomplish. And I think for the most part, she does get the best out of her players. And you see that with, I was there for the 40-0 season. I wasn't covering them at that time, but that was a really, really fun year to watch the success they had. And, I think my freshman year is when they lost to A&M in the Sweet 16, I think it was. But even in that, they just were huge competitors. And so she's definitely, one of a kind, right there with Gino and Coach Summit, rest in peace, and even Muffet, just all of those kind of coaches.
So, circling back to tonight with the game between Texas Tech and Baylor in Lubbock, what is the difference maker? What's the factor that's going to win this game for Baylor or lose this game for Baylor?
I think the thing that's going to win it will be just that experience and, like I said, that grit that I talked about. Tech has had periods where they can show fight, but they've also had some periods where, they can kind of falter or get in their heads a lot. And really kind of overthink things, which cost them, or when shots aren't falling, they struggle to find ways to kind of make up for that, like with rebounding or just playing harder defense. Now, I do think that Tech can make it competitive if they're clicking on all cylinders and they can put together a good run, get their offense going, not let the fact that they're playing Baylor kind of get in their heads, and just play their game. There obviously going to be a learning curve just because, like I said, they do have a new coach. They are learning her system. But yeah, I think that would be the difference maker if they can just kind of get out of their heads, get some shots going, and then if the shots aren't falling, make up for it with some really, really strong defense because they have it in them.
Yeah. And is there one really, I guess, how should I put this? The mantra around this Texas Tech team right now, does it feel like they will play up to an opponent like Baylor, or does the top 10 mark aside the Lady Bears name really just bog down a Texas Tech team that's sitting near the bottom half of the conference?
Yeah, of course they're going to say they don't pay attention to it. But I think to a certain extent, there is a little bit of anxiety maybe as far as doing that because, they've had periods where they went on a 4-game losing streak during the season, Baylor being one of those losses. They've gone on a 3-game losing streak. Currently, they've lost 4 out of their last 5 games, so it could be where it's like, okay, we know we're playing Baylor, it's not again. But I think it's going to take the leadership of people like Vivian Gray and Lexi Gordon and Maka Jackson to say, you know what, guys, like, we've played this team before. What do we have to lose? You know what I mean? It's almost like a Brylesism where he said, what was it? It was like he said he'd rather fight a man that works at a Fortune 5 company than a man who lives in his car because he lives in his car has nothing to lose. He's fighting for his life essentially. And so I think that's kind of, no disrespect to Tech, but that's kind of what it is where it's like, guys, what do we have to lose? Let's go out here and give it all. And I think if they do that, they'll be in good shape.
I like it. Hey, there's definitely a chance. Anything can happen tonight with how volatile this season has been, how volatile the Lady Bears season has been in general specifically. But before I can let you go, Alexis, and thanks so much for joining us to break down the game. We've got Bear games today that we break down with everybody, every guest and caller, and sometimes they're not even sports related. Today, though, if you could live in one Big 12 football stadium for an entire fall, which stadium would it be?
Oh, man. Okay, I got to think about this one for a minute. Oh, probably the hardest question you've asked me. Let's see. So I know I wouldn't want to be in Morgantown because the smoke from all the burning couches would irritate me.
Yeah, you don't want to be in Ames either because it snows every day.
Right. Well, I kind of like snow, but outside, yeah, it'd be a little different.
True.
I guess I'd have to Jones AT&T, that is a nice one. But I guess to be kind of biased and go ahead and say McLean, just because, like, I remember Floyd Casey, and even though Floyd Casey has my heart, McLean is definitely an upgrade, with the Wi-Fi and, just all the stuff, and it's beautiful. Even though apparently it's shaped like a toilet bowl, which I never noticed. Someone drew that's my attention. But yeah, I think I'd have to be, Stillwater just seems too compact. Like, from what I understand, the bleachers are really, really close to the sidelines, so I need my space. So yeah, I guess I have to go McLean.
McLean Stadium. I will not discount you for that one, especially after the last guest said TCU, Amanji Carter. And then in a fight, if the Big 12 mascots were to take on real life form, a bear and a cowboy, the cowboy's armed, a bear and a cowboy are squaring off, who's winning that bout?
Yeah, I got to go cowboy on that one.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, a bear, the arms are only so the wingspan is only so much, but
Cowboys got a gun.
Right. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight, and you sure don't bring claws to one. So I got to go with the Cowboy.
Believe it or not, the Baylor fans have voted 90-10 in favor of Bear. Believe it or not. Yeah, that's no bias. Okay. No bias here.
I was going to say, maybe there's context. Is it like catching the Cowboy off guard?
No, not at all. It is just an actual, they both know that they're fighting. They are squaring off in a cage. And I guess it's just a homer. I guess we're just homers here, but the Bear's going to beat the Cowboys. And then Bevo, a Longhorn versus a Mountaineer. And the Mountaineer is also armed. The Longhorn is not.
Okay. Can I be honest? I don't really know what a Mountaineer is. Is it like a lumberjack?
Yeah, I'm kind of I don't know. It has a coonskin cap and a musket, and lives in the mountain, whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay, so if it has a musket, probably Mountaineer. I'm gonna go with weapons every time.
Yeah.
But if it's not armed, I'm going with Bevo because those horns are no joke.
That's a lot. That's a lot to handle. Alexis Cubitt, thanks so much for joining us today, breaking down the women's basketball game tonight between Baylor and Texas Tech in Lubbock. Again, Alexis Cubitt, the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Drake.
Great to have you on. Again, that was Alexis Cubitt, Lubbock Avalanche Journal. All right, here's what we got. Coming up next, Jordan Feuerbacher. How about it? Joins us every Wednesday. Got him on for a half hour, 12:30 to 1 o'clock. Talking a little bit of Baylor men's basketball, women's basketball today, breaking everything around sports down today. Here's what we got. A little Armstrong's Minute, quick break, coming back with Jordan Feuerbacher, and then J.D. Pickell joins at 1 o'clock. This is Up Tempo.
Super Tuesday in college basketball did not disappoint with tight games across the country. Starting in Big 12 play, Chris Beard was ejected in a wild game in Lubbock as number 14 West Virginia went on the road to beat number 7 Texas Tech 82-71, thanks to Sean McNeil's 26 points and Miles McBride's 20. Elsewhere, number 13 Texas won at Kansas State 80-77. TCU beat Iowa State in Fort Worth 79-76. Number 11 Alabama beat South Carolina on the road 81-78. Arkansas won at Rupp Arena over Kentucky 81-80. Notre Dame beat Duke at Cameron Indoor 93-89, and Butler upset St. John's in overtime 76-73. On the women's side, Oklahoma notched an upset against Iowa State at home 67-61. Thanks to Maddie Williams' 27 points and 13 rebounds. And the women's NCAA tournament will be held entirely in San Antonio this season, similar to the men's bubble in Indianapolis. In collegiate baseball, Texas Tech starting pitcher and MLB hopeful Hunter Dobbins will miss the 2021 season due to a UCL injury. Dobbins was throwing 98 from the mound throughout practice. And in tennis, the ITA Indoor National Championship bracket has been set as Baylor, the 4 seed, will play Texas in round 1 and the winner of Illinois and USC if the Bears win. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, welcome back in Up Tempo. Happy Wednesday, everybody. What a day it has been. Joined by David Smoak earlier in the show. How cool was that, Armstrong? Armstrong's nodding his head right now because he thought it was freaking cool. Armstrong just mouthed, that was freaking cool. Thank you.
I said very cool.
Oh. Armstrong said that was very cool. And now joining us again every Wednesday, Jordan Feuerbacher. All right, Armstrong, close your eyes. Armstrong's eyes are closed. You guys can't see this.
They're legit closed. I can't do any producing right now.
He can't do any producing because his eyes are closed, and I'm making him close his eyes. Spell Feuerbacher.
No.
Yes.
I refuse.
No, try it. Really?
Feuerbacher. No.
Really?
I don't want to offend this man.
I feel like I could give a good shot. F-E-U. Am I E-R-B-A-C-H-E-R?
Close.
All right,
Yeah,
Jordan Feuerbacher, spell Feuerbacher.
Yeah. F-E-U-E-R-B-A-C-H-E-R. Now, I just learned how to spell it last year, so it's a tough one. But, yeah, you're real close, Drake, and thanks for having me on. Same as last Wednesday. Armstrong, you as well. I'm excited to join the show again.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. I will give myself a quarter of a bonus point, which David Smoak tried to give me earlier in the middle of one of our games. He gave me a quarter of a point. But Jordan, so what's going on in the world of Jordan Feuerbacher since we talked to you 7 days ago?
Nothing much, man. Just been working, enjoying the weekend, missing Baylor basketball. That kind of fills my weekend up, and at least one day out of the work week, and really just been missing them. Obviously, not coming back what seems to be anytime soon. So it's definitely been an interesting situation there. It's getting cold here in Colorado. I saw that it's supposed to get cold down in Texas this week too. Looks like we're sharing the love a little bit from that end. It's not quite as warm. Last week when I talked to y'all, I think it was like a nice sunny 65 day, and we're not getting past like 35 today. So gotta love the cold up here.
I tell you, so we're going to have, I think, today doesn't get above like 45. It may be even worse than that. Today is 41, tomorrow 39, and a chance of snow. So it could snow tonight. And then it's going to be a thunderstorm the rest of the day. This is awful. This is actually terrible. 38 degrees and thunderstorm, so it's not even going to snow. I lied. It's just going to rain really hard and be freezing. And then Friday into Saturday. Friday, the high 39, Saturday 34, Sunday 39, Monday, the high is 25, the low is 9, and it is going to snow on Monday. Better yet, Tuesday, the high is 33, and it's going to get all the way down to 24 at night, and it's going to snow again. So thank you for sending your gift from Colorado.
Yeah, no, the cold's worse down there though. It's so dry up here. It's bad when it gets cold. It's still dang cold. Don't get me wrong, but that humidity that makes it so much worse when it's actually cold down there. So, enjoy. I hope you all have fun with those, chilly thunderstorms. It sounds like a good time to me.
I will tell you, we will not be having fun with the chilly thunderstorms. But okay, Jordan, I did not prep you for this whatsoever. I know you texted me and we were talking about what the show is going to look like today, and I did not prep you for this at all. But what I want to do, we did Smokey's Take today. So we had David Smoak on the show for a little crossover action with the afternoon guys, and I asked him 12 questions, and he had 1 minute to answer each of them. So these are all kind of like off the top of your head. None of them are crazy. But I want to give them to you, too, and see kind of what your takes are. So you have 1 minute to respond to these 12 questions. I want to see if Jordan can attack this like Smokey did. This dude, Smokey went after it today. It was intense. So are you ready? The timer is starting.
Yeah, Smokey's an animal, so we'll see. But let's give it a shot.
Question number 1. Can you make a case for Jared Butler being the National Player of the Year?
I think you definitely can. Luka Garza, he's got incredible offensive numbers. His defensive numbers are where he's lacking. I think, if not overall National Player of the Year, Jared Butler's for sure the most complete basketball player in the nation right now.
Bam, 17 seconds, quick and easy right there, just like that. Number 2, realistically, objectively, how confident are you in Baylor football's new offensive staff?
I'd say more confident than last year. I think the main thing is going to be getting a real string with the system. I know that wasn't something that happened last year. Obviously, Baylor, I don't think, had a single spring practice. I think that's the biggest thing. I like the hires a lot. I think it's going to bring a little bit more physicality to the offense than was lacking last year. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I like that. I think that 7 out of 10 is realistic. The 10 out of 10 guys I have no respect for, but a 7 out of 10 is a solid way to put it. You nailed that in 36 seconds. Number 3, is Baylor, as a former Baylor football player, Jordan, is Baylor a basketball school?
I think as of right now, yeah. I mean, this year, yes. I think it's going to be hard to, take down football in Texas. Football is just a way of life down there. So they'll have to string a few years like this together to be a true basketball school. But even as a former Baylor football player, I've been having more fun watching the basketball team this year than I did the football. So I'd say for this year, for sure.
All right. Number 4 for you is this Lady Bear women's basketball team. Are they capable of going to the Final Four this season? Is that a realistic expectation for them?
Oh, man. I know they've struggled. I think that they have it in them. I think, there's been a lot more talented Lady Bear teams that haven't made the Final Four in the past. I know they really struggled in the Elite Eight a few years back, kind of making that final push to the Final Four. So, anything can happen. I'm going to say probably a Sweet 16 Elite 8 exit this year, but I think they are capable. I don't see it happening, though, with the inconsistency they've shown so far.
I like it. I also agree with that take. I think so far, I cannot say confidently right now today that Baylor, the Baylor Lady Bears are a top 4 team or a Final Four team, but the potential is there. Number 5, what makes Dave Aranda a great defensive mind?
Oh, man. From everything I read, and I wish I was as tied into the program as I used to be, when Rule and his staff left. I still know, Bell and Joey McGuire and a few guys there. I wish I could pick his brain a little bit. I wish I could pick Aranda's brain a little bit. But I'd say it's his film watching. Everything I've heard, he's just an absolute film junkie. And he's a film junkie, and 2, he seems to be a really great collaborator. Loves taking on his assistant coach's advice, what they're seeing, and implementing that to his scheme and his game plans each and every week. So I'd say that's what makes him a great defensive mind, is his study habits and his overall collaborative effort.
48 seconds on that answer. Number 6. What made you, a former Baylor football player, what made you fall in love with football?
So I played baseball a lot growing up too. I was a pretty good baseball player, and I loved them both about equally until I got to high school. And just the Friday night lights in Texas, it just couldn't compare to anything that I'd been through baseball-wise yet. I got addicted to it. The adrenaline rush is greater, and you get to, I don't know, baseball is kind of, you have to hold back. If you press too hard, you kind of mess up in baseball. Football's, more balls to the wall. It's, aggressive physical sport, and I think that just kind of fit what I was looking for in a sport, more than baseball did. And so I'd say the Friday night lights and just the physicality of it.
Question number, that was 45 seconds. Question number 7, what's one of the funniest moments you ever experienced in football?
So whenever Coach Brawls was there, it wasn't, I want to say it was like hazing or anything like that, because it wasn't, but the initiation to come into the team your freshman year was during fall camp. You had to sing a song in front of the entire football team. And it was hilarious. People would get booed off the stage if they forgot the words or sang a bad song. That was just some of the funny, more funny times. And you had to put yourself out there, be vulnerable. And, I think it was a really good team building activity.
How about this? That was 40 seconds. Question number 8. Out of Matt Rule, Sean Bell, and Joey McGuire, who could grow the best beard?
Honestly, Bell and McGuire, I don't know if I've ever seen them with beards. Rule, he did grow one a little bit. I would not call it a good beard by any stretch of the imagination. I'd have to go with him though, because he's the only one that I think has tried. If I had to put money on it, I'd guess if you truly tried, I'd guess Joey would be able to do it a little bit better. But with no evidence, I guess I got to go with Rule on that.
Matt Rule. I want to stick with Rule too, because obviously you got to be around Coach Rule with the Baylor program and play for him. With Matt Rule, take prime Jordan Furbacher, prime Matt Rule. Who wins in a knockdown dragout?
Oh, me. I love Rule. One day, and he was, this was during my senior year. We were 111. He was trying to get us fired up, and he came out and he put pads on and did a little, drill where it wasn't anything crazy, but he let a couple of seniors. I wasn't one of them. I think Taylor Young was, and maybe Brian Nance and one other. And he kind of went head up and just they'd give each other a pop. And, he stood in there and took it, but I've seen his pictures at Penn State. I think prime Jordan Furbacher's got him by a little bit for sure.
Boom! Take that, Matt Rule. He's a big listener to the show too, so I'm sure he'll be getting a call or a text. Maybe we can set that up. Prime Matt Rule, prime Jordan Furbacher. Jordan, number 10. Who has better hair? J.D. Pickell. I don't know. You've seen J.D. before, I guess, right?
Yeah, I've seen him.
J.D. Pickell or Jordan Furbacher?
Oh, J.D. I've got great hair. Don't get me wrong. I think I take pride in my hair. I think it's one of my best features for sure. But yeah, he's got the flow, man. I don't have any of that. It's a thing of beauty. So I'm not going to try to compete with J.D. on that one.
He's got the flow. I think the quote of the day today is David Smoak saying J.D. Pickell is a model. J.D. Pickell is a model, is what he said. Number 11. If you could have one football player, former Baylor football player that you played with, be your personal bodyguard, who would it be?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. Let's see who I played with. I think I'd go with Kyle Fuller. He's just a great guy who got along really well. But he has enough of that mean streak, to really scare some people, and he's just a huge human being. So I think I'd give the edge to Kyle a little bit. I think he'd get the job done.
Kyle Fuller today, the bodyguard of Jordan Furbacher. And then I've got, let's see, number 12. This is, if one Baylor football coach that you played for could babysit your newborn, who would it be?
That I played for, one Baylor football coach. Oh man, that's tough. I love Phil Bennett. I think, if I came home to Phil Bennett babysitting my kids, though, they'd learn a few new choice words, unfortunately. I'm going to go Andrew Altoff, and he's not a on-the-field coach. He was our strength and conditioning guy. One, he's one of the smartest human beings I've ever been around, and two, he's got two little boys that are just absolutely off the wall. So I think, he'd be able to handle anything that, my non-existent kids would be able to throw at him.
Boom. Phil Bennett. Lock it in. And Jordan, before we let this segment dry out, and obviously we're going to get into some more banter and all that, but I would be remiss if we didn't play the same game with you that we played with Smokey, and that is we play Music Monday on this show, and where we play 5 songs in succession, 5 seconds of each, so 25 seconds of music. You've got to guess the artist and the song. Today's theme, too, is classic rock. I want to see how well you could do with this. Are you ready?
All right, let's get it.
Let's get it. Armstrong? Oh, baby. It's not easy, Jordan. It is not easy today. Do you have anything? Literally anything.
Yeah, I think I've got a couple. I've got Renegade, Styx, right?
Let's go.
Nailed it.
I've got Rock and Roll Band. I believe that's the name of the song. I know it's Boston for sure.
That's
though.
correct.
Oh, my goodness.
That's correct.
Oh, man. See, now my recall is getting bad.
All right, we'll play it again. We'll play it again.
Yeah, one more time. One more time.
You got those. So.
All right, yeah, you already nailed the last two.
Was one, I feel like I Can't Drive 55 by Sammy Hagar.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Are you Shazamming these?
No. My dad loves 80s rock. Yeah. I just listen to it. I still listen to it. I think one is, and my grandpa will kill me if it's not it. It's got to be, is Led Zeppelin one of them? I don't think I can name the song. I think it was one Led Zeppelin.
No. Led Zeppelin was not in there.
Who was the second? Well, who was the second one? That was my guess for the second one.
I'll play the first two again.
Yeah, the first two. We'll play the first two.
Okay, the second one's the Stones, right?
Yeah.
Stones.
Yeah.
Give Me Shelter, something
What?
like that.
Yep, nailed it.
Unbelievable.
Nailed it.
And then the first one I know I should know. I don't know, the Eagles, I guess. I have no Eagles something. I don't know.
Nailed the artist.
Did he? Oh my gosh! Yeah, just guess an Eagles song at this point. I want you to go 10 for 10.
You need to go for 10 for 10.
Well, give me one more little taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it. I mean,
9 out of 10.
No.
9 out of 10 though.
Oh my goodness!
It is Heartache Tonight.
Heartache Tonight. I mean, I know the song. I need the chorus for that one to get it, but good effort, right? Good effort.
I could never have seen this coming.
I mean, it's hard to get even the Eagles just from the opening riff.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 is incredible.
That is unbelievable. All right, Jordan, we're going to shift into the Sick 'em Pick 'em today. I want to get your picks. We're going to bring J.D. Pickell on here in about 10 minutes. And he's gonna come in, and he's hosting today via Skype. I don't know. We're gonna have JD. It's just weird today. Before we get to that, women's tennis moves up to number 17 in the country. All right, thank you, Armstrong. I was waiting for that. All right, Jordan, Sick 'em Pick 'em today. What do you like across the country?
All right. I can't remember what I went last week, but from here on out, we keep doing it. I'll keep my record.
Yeah.
Did a little bit more research this week, so I got a pretty good slate here. Going pretty heavy. We're gonna start off. I got UConn -1.5 versus Providence. I think UConn's a decent team this year, not elite like they have been in the past. Through a little bit of my research, I basically figured out that in the conference, I think they're Big East. Providence is either dead last or right around that in their ability to cover the spread, and UConn's, I believe, first in the conference at covering the spread.
They are 9-3 against the spread.
Yeah. So we're riding those numbers today. I'm going to go UConn -1.5. Then I've got Tulane +8.5 versus Tulsa. I don't think Tulane wins this game. I think Tulsa wins it. I believe Tulane might have beat them last time, but I do think Tulsa wins this game. I think it's close, though. Tulsa's they're both about middle of the pack in their ability to cover the spread on the year. So I like the underdog covering on that one. Then I got a couple over unders for you. I got over 139.5 Nova versus Marquette. Last time they played, they scored well more than that. I think, Nova in conference against, Marquette, who's traditionally not bad, doesn't seem to be that good this year. I think they're scoring about 80 points against them. My only worry is if Marquette can contribute enough to that to get over 139.5, but I definitely see it happening. I got over 133 Ole Miss versus Mizzou. We're going to see how that one plays out. I think 133 is a low number. Ole Miss has been playing in a little bit low scoring games here lately. But I think that Mizzou's got some firepower. They're going to get me a little bit over that 133 mark there for the total. I'm going to go under 140.5 Tennessee versus Georgia. Tennessee loves to play defense. I've seen a lot of arguments out there that they're the second best defensive team, and their fans obviously like to say they're the first best defensive team in the nation. Obviously, I think Baylor's the first best team in the nation when it comes to team defense in college basketball this year. But I like the under 140.5. They've also been what seems to be struggling scoring. Tennessee has here in the past few games. Then we're going to go Drake -11 versus Northern Iowa. Drake's been an absolute cover machine. I'm just playing the numbers on that one. I think I looked it up last night. They're 14-3. I know they started the year like a ridiculous number in against the spread. So we're riding Drake there. I got under 137 Wisconsin versus Nebraska. I see it being kind of a defensive slugfest. Nebraska struggles to put the ball in the hoop. And then my upset special for the day, I'm going to take Rhode Island money line versus St. Louis. I know last week when we talked on Wednesday, Drake, there was a ton of upsets, specifically in the top 25. Yep. I believe there was about 3, maybe even up to 5 upsets in the top 25 last week. I don't believe St. Louis is ranked. I think they've kind of been in and out of the rankings through the year. But I like Rhodey to go ahead and beat St. Louis on this one.
The upsets did not bode well at all for me whatsoever last Wednesday. But maybe today, with your upset of the day between Rhode Island and St. Louis, that's a 9. It's an 8.5 point line in favor of St. Louis. But I am, wow. Rhode Island tonight. Maybe so. Maybe this is the night where they catch fire.
I don't know. I know they've been good in the past. I'm really kind of going out on a limb here. I know St. L'Louis hadn't played that many A-10 games. It looks like Rhode Island has. I'm rolling with Rhode Island. We'll see. It's I'm not telling you to go put your life savings on it. That's for dang sure. But maybe a little money line sprinkle action. Maybe something crazy happens. That's my hope.
Wow. I now do know that St. Bonaventure, who is number 1 in the A-10, did just lose to St. Louis. St. Louis is not bad by any means, but you got a hunch tonight. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little Monopoly money tonight on Rhode Island just in honor of Jordan Furbacher. Jordan, before we get you out of here too, I got our Bear Games questions of the day today. Number one being, if you could live in one Big 12 football stadium outside of McLean for an entire fall, which one would it be?
That's tough. I'd definitely go with McLean if that was an option. Just, newest stadium, really, nice on the inside. And so I'd go with McLean if that was an option. I guess I would go with Oklahoma State Stadium, though.
Boone Pickens.
Pickens, yep. It's got the building attached to it, so I feel on cold nights you could try to figure out a way to get in that building and kind of warm up a little bit. I think that's a good pick.
I think it's a good pick.
What I'd go with.
It's better than Ames, better than Morgantown, better than Kaufman or Bill Snyder family. I mean, it's cold, Those are all cold, but Oklahoma State's pretty decent. Outside of that, if mascots took on real life form, and a Mountaineer and a full-sized Bevo Longhorn were squaring off in a battle to the death, who wins?
Oh, man. Obviously the Longhorn has the size. It's got, the horns. I just, if it's Bevo, they keep that guy, drugged up on the sideline the whole time. He's not doing much damage, but I'm just going to say it's a regular Longhorn. I think I've got the near. He's got the musket, Yep. I think Longhorns, they might be quick. The big ones I've seen, like the Texas has, they seem to be a little bit slow, though. So I think Anir could run around long enough to get a couple shots out of his musket to finish the job.
And then a bear and a cowboy squaring off, one-on-one, fight to the death. Who's winning it?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I go back and forth a little bit. I know it takes a couple shots to get a bear down. So if he's pretty rabid, I think that it might be the bear. If we're talking about Oklahoma State, he's got the little bit, the little pistol. I don't think that will do too much damage. Probably hard to reload that, little single shot thing. I think the bear, a slight edge. If he catches him with a good shot, maybe the cowboy. But let's give the edge to the bear. I'm sick of him. I guess I'll go with the bear.
Wow, Homer. Only the homers. Jordan, thanks so much for joining us again today. Co-hosting for a little bit, talking some basketball across the country, and then our quick hits today. But always love having you on.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Sounds good. Let me know if next week's free again. I'll be glad to hop on, guys.
We'll see you soon, Jordan. Thanks again.
Bye, guys. Have a good one, man.
All right. Again, that's Jordan Furbacher, former Baylor football player and guest host on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo every Wednesday. Okay, I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. J.D. Pickell is not here today, not physically. He's not physically here. But we're going to hit an Armstrong's Minute. We're going to hit a quick break. And when we come back, J.D. Pickell will return. This is Uptempo.
Super Tuesday in college basketball did not disappoint with tight games across the country. Starting in Big 12 play, Chris Beard was ejected in a wild game in Lubbock as number 14 West Virginia went on the road to beat number 7 Texas Tech 82-71, thanks to Sean McNeil's 26 points and Miles McBride's 20. Elsewhere, number 13 Texas won at Kansas State 80-77. TCU beat Iowa State in Fort Worth 79-76. Number 11 Alabama beat South Carolina on the road 81-78. Arkansas won at Rupp Arena over Kentucky 81-80. Notre Dame beat Duke at Cameron Indoor 93-89. And Butler upset St. John's in overtime 76-73. On the women's side, Oklahoma notched an upset against Iowa State at home 67-61, thanks to Maddie Williams' 27 points and 13 rebounds. And the women's NCAA tournament will be held entirely in San Antonio this season, similar to the men's bubble in Indianapolis. In collegiate baseball, Texas Tech starting pitcher and MLB hopeful Hunter Dobbins will miss the 2021 season due to a UCL injury. Dobbins was throwing 98 from the mound throughout practice. And in tennis, the ITA Indoor National Championship bracket has been set as Baylor, the 4 seed, will play Texas in round 1 and the winner of Illinois and USC if the Bears win. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinical OT Bears Den. I am Drake Toll. Armstrong Sims is producing the show today. And now back from walking his dog at the dog park is our own J.D. Pickell. That stands for Joshua Dalton, for those that are curious. We learned that recently, and he's gonna join us via the old Skype machine because Zoom doesn't let us do what we like to do. So I don't know. I'm gonna.
We don't have him.
We don't have him.
I mean, we don't have him.
We lost him.
And it's exactly.
Where is he?
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, that one's me. You want to call him?
No.
Do you have his number? I'll send you his number.
No.
So
do something else. Oh, we get it.
So basically, what is going on is JD Pickell is joining via Skype.
Yeah,
we had him on Zoom, and then I threw just an absolute wrinkle into things, and I'm very sorry. I made Armstrong's job hard today by calling in for JD Pickell. But now we are on the cusp. I'm hearing, being radioed in from New York. We're on the cusp of having our own J.D. Pickell on the Skype line. But before we get him, I am going to filibuster, and I'm getting where we have him. J.D. Pickell is now on. J.D., welcome it up tempo.
Boys, not the circumstances I'd like to be joining, but you guys look great via the Skype machine. I love the Baylor helmet, the new merch on the desk. This is a new, unique experience, but I'm happy to be here, boys.
Wow. It was Richard. Richard did this for us. I've got to say, I am are you wearing a China Spring quarter zip?
Yeah, I'm not messing around today. It's nasty weather outside, so.
You know what they say? You know what Brian Bell says?
He does say a lot of things, but one of them is nasty weather.
Nasty Cougars. He says a lot of things. He says go Cougs, too. I bet China Spring Nation is going wild right now. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the I don't know, JD, you and I are like having this conversation about the Pat McAfee show, you know?
Yeah.
And how his guys, the Pat McAfee show guys, the one guy who is like right always wears sunglasses. So we're just kind of going with it. These are Armstrong's glasses that I'm wearing right now. Armstrong's nodding.
They look
yes,
good.
he can confirm that they're a sunglass. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll thank Armstrong. Yeah. Also,
I would wear this.
Your background is. Would you wear them on the town, like out and about?
I wear anything on my face.
That's true.
To block
on
the
your
sun.
Oh, I liked how the progression of that sentence went. I'll wear anything
on my face.
On my face
to block the sun.
Specifically to block the sun. Otherwise, no.
I mean, that leaves us pretty limited in what we can wear to block the sun. Sunglasses, hat.
Hey, if the sun's in the eyes, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
You a hat guy? Are you? I've never seen you wear a hat.
I'm a hat guy when I have short hair.
Wow. Well, you have
because when you have long hair like I do right now, once you put the hat on, you're committed for the entire day.
True. JD's not a hat guy. JD?
I wear a hat every now and then. I don't wear one on the show typically, just because it blocks our face with the lights. So I haven't done it yet, but I'm a pretty big hat guy. I got a pretty good collection. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I learned that it blocks your face with the lights when we had Crazy Hot Matrix guy on, because I wore a hat and it did not go over well. Steven from Virginia actually told me to never wear a hat again.
Oh wow,
that was tough.
Proud. I mean, Craig wears a hat most days, doesn't he?
Craig wears a hat.
He's a big hat guy.
I have never seen Craig without a hat.
And
you've
worked here for 3 years.
I don't think I have either.
I haven't worked here for 3 years, but close.
Close enough. What have you done, JD, to get your background blurry? You're in 4K right now. Your background's blurry.
Cool, yeah.
How did you do that?
His background.
I have no idea.
His video
looks
cool.
It looks insane.
It looks 4K, but he sounds like.
Cool?
You sound like you're in a telephone booth.
Do I sound like SoundCloud look like IMAX right now?
At the bottom of the ocean.
Yes.
Hype. That's good, because my background's actually not that cool to begin with. So this is what we're working with, boys.
Is it the lighting? I don't know what's going on. You have a Cornell jersey, and then you've got the
fresh.
Oh my gosh!
Got a little mural back there that's done.
It blurs out.
That's all right. I mean, does it look? Should I just keep it, or should I?
No, that looks insanely good. It looks 4K. You ever see like when they did the sideline camera at the Super Bowl, and you look at it, it's like so the guys look so good because the rest of the background is completely blurred out and it's just focused on Tom Brady. You're Tom Brady right now. I do not know how you've done this, but that is unbelievable. That's immaculate.
It looks good.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Also, I just downloaded Skype, so
really,
maybe it's their default. I'm not sure.
It might be.
Is
I've been a Zoom guy for so long, like an idiot.
Armstrong, is there a way to use my Skype camera too, so the folks can see what I see today?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let me see if it does it for me. I want to see if it does it for me.
Here, hold on. I need to.
Yeah.
Grid view.
I think maybe float is the effect. Looking at my
Yeah. How do you see me? How are you seeing me right now?
I see you through both Armstrong's camera, so the broadcast camera, as well as your laptop.
Okay.
If you go to the icon in the top right, like a FaceTime, like the top right, you see yourself. Go to the left, there's layout. Float could be a way to go. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think I'm starting to see it now. I'm gonna pin myself, I think. Let's see. That's unmute microphone. I'm muted. Wait a second.
Yeah, you're muted.
I see it where it says FaceTime. Does it show?
Don't unmute yourself.
Is my background blurry? Oh, do that again. I didn't see it. That right there.
I've had it up for like 5 minutes.
Shoot, man. That's what the folks at home. That's what JD's seeing. The folks at home are seeing what JD's seeing. Why? It's not blurry in my background. Why does JD look 4K and I don't? Armstrong, fix it.
I don't know what JD's done, but he makes
What a
himself
day.
look
Yeah,
good.
I don't know what you've done. How are you? How's your Wednesday going? How was walking the dog at the dog park?
I'm good. Yeah, the dog is well walked. Can't make too many complaints. It's a good slate today. I'm excited. I think there's a good slate for the SicEm Pick'em. We got Drake playing, which is always exciting. They let us down last time. Let us down. Usually they cover like it's their job. Good teams win. Great teams cover. That's the truth.
Did you see? I hit a parlay last night on in Monopoly money.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
How many we net?
I think we lost a couple of parlays in Monopoly money, but I think we netted like $45 yesterday-ish, somewhere around there.
We'll take that. That's like 9 trips to In-N-Out.
Boom. 9? What do you order In-N-Out?
I mean, you get a double. It's around $5, right? Give or take.
Crazy. How do you get to In-N-Out from the submarine that you're in? You are at the bottom of the ocean right now with immaculate camera quality.
Program, actually. Yeah, they have a great Uber Eats program where they actually will bring another submarine to your other submarine, drop it off, and the food is slightly soggy but still good enough to where it's edible.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's free pub for Uber Eats. What was that commercial?
Yeah.
Eat local. The freak, you know what's stuck in my head?
Local,
thanks to you?
What?
Moo.
Oh yeah. Wow.
No
No cow.
cow.
No cow.
Wow.
It's on Spotify.
Wow, it is. No
You know what
cow.
the deal is, though?
Yeah, tell me the deal.
What I learned yesterday, that ad is from 2014. It was banned in Finland because it was like anti-dairy. And so they just said, you know what, we're just going to go put it on the Super Bowl for 2021 and just roll with it. But it got banned in Finland.
Wow. Wow.
I like it slightly less now.
Wow. No cow.
Isn't that wild?
My dad just texted me. My parents text me pretty frequently throughout the show.
I've noticed.
My father texts, JD looks like Stevie Wonder with those glasses. So,
I love it.
Compliment. Did you do something different with your hair, too? Is that a perm? Is that a perm?
Yeah, it's got a perm, a home perm kit.
Gorilla Glue?
Not permanent,
Perma-home.
but it'll work.
That's what kids call
Gorilla
it.
Glue.
That's what kids call it nowadays.
Thank goodness it's not Gorilla Glue. But that's cool that my parents don't even have my number. So that's pretty cool that you guys talk so much.
Yeah, me neither. I wish I was close to my parents like Drake is to his.
I don't text them back during the show. Unlike someone who tweets during the show stupid stuff.
Hey, Lincoln, I think I am the #1 fan of Lincoln.
I saw that too. Armstrong tweeted
that
yesterday.
during the show.
What did you tweet during the show yesterday? Something about Cracker Barrel.
Because they were debating the origin of the name Cracker Barrel.
Who was?
People were saying it was a racist term.
Oh,
I was saying no. Cracker Barrel is literally a term for a barrel of crackers that would sit in general stores.
Wow, Cracker.
That's a good tweet. That's a good on-show tweet. I think.
Thank you.
That's what you tweet on the show. If you had one tweet on the show, you're gonna tweet about Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, I just need to clarify. And then today I tweeted that.
That's a good Bear Games question.
Should be a Bear
I
Games
don't think so. I think that's not a good Bear
What
Games.
is the worst thing that's actually not that bad? That when you actually research it, is not bad? That's a good Bear Games question.
Or what is your worst tweet?
What's your #1 tweet? If you could tweet one thing while on the show.
I don't really tweet on the show. I tweeted today. JD, did you see that
tweet on the show?
Did you see that David Smoak was on today?
I saw that. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a good deal. He was in HEB the other night, and I had my AirPods in, and he texted me later. He's like, "Hey, you didn't say hi to me. I said hi to you twice. Like, I'm so sorry. I completely had tunnel vision and didn't even know that you were there."
He
So I
told
felt bad
us
about that.
on this radio.
If I saw David Smoak at HEB, I would lose it.
Oh yeah, to see David Smoak in his natural habitat.
Like you eat groceries.
You eat groceries.
I wish I had known. I would have said hi, obviously. But
Yeah.
he's a machine.
He said he circled back around. He said that he was like, "Hey, JD, what's going on, man?" And that you didn't. That was a good Smoak impression. And that you didn't answer. So he circles back around in front of you to say, "Hey, JD, what's going on?" And you just didn't say anything.
I truthfully had no idea, but I felt horrible getting that text. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know that was the case. Otherwise, I would have said hi and would have probably gotten some groceries with you. I don't know. I had a pretty short list that day, but yeah, I feel bad I didn't say hi.
Groceries with him? That's your first thought, is that you would have gotten groceries with David Smoak? Come on, hop in the cart, David.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're already at the grocery store.
They're already there. They're already there.
But together?
Let's pick some stuff up.
What is that? Yeah. What's your first question to David Smoak when you see him at the grocery store?
What's your go-to protein?
Yeah. Is that what you're asking?
How was Super Bowl? That would have been my go-to question. That's how was Super Bowl. Or I would have said, 2%. Keep it drinking whole if you want to.
Armstrong's a big whole guy.
I am a big whole guy. That's another tweet I'd sent out today.
I'm a big oats guy. I'm a big oat milk guy.
I'm a big whole milk all the way.
JD, I think my first question is, oh, Smokey, what are you doing here? It's the grocery store. And then you ask him, what are you getting? And then you just follow him along for his list.
Are you a broccoli guy or an asparagus guy?
What are you? I'm a broccoli guy.
Are those binary? Like, is it one? Can you be both?
No. You can be both. You can be both, actually.
It's one or the other.
Interesting. I guess if I had to pick one, I got some broccoli, but
also
new. I didn't know this was a thing.
But it makes your pee smell, so.
It does make your pee smell. You know who doesn't typically watch the show after he leaves the show to walk his dog? JD. Sometimes JD watches the show and will text me and be like, this was great. You know what he didn't do yesterday?
Text this was great.
Text this was great about the sorority girl segment. Did you watch that?
I didn't get to see it. I saw
I knew it was coming.
Parts of it.
You're lucky.
I saw parts of it. How was that? Catch me up.
I want to get Armstrong's take on this. I'm biased because I was a part of it.
It was interesting. You just got to watch it.
It's a bit of a fever dream. You're going to watch it and be like, what is going on in our studio?
Fever dream.
Did you not like it,
It
Armstrong?
looked like
No, I did not like it. I'm not even in the shot.
No, you're not. You didn't not like it?
I did not like it.
But you didn't love it.
No, I'm all I'm saying is I did not like it.
I loved it. So you have to go back and watch that. What'd you say?
Will the segment continue, or is Armstrong vetoing that now?
No, I'm not vetoing that.
I think we're gonna do Tour Guide Tuesday, but I know like 6 tour guides, so it's going to be a very short amount of Tuesdays.
I felt bad for the girls that came in the studio because we had a bunch of smelly, dudes interns.
Okay, who smelled? Who smelled yesterday?
Everyone.
Literally, what did they smell like?
The studio just constantly smells like dudes. You know
Really? There's not a single smell in the studio. Richard came in today, didn't say a word about the smell.
Okay.
Because he's a guy.
He's a nice guy.
Because he's a nice guy. Maybe he has COVID.
It's COVID.
Okay. Today we're talking about weather. Did you see where it's gonna snow? Like a lot coming up?
I saw that. Yeah. Are we buying that? Are we sold on that? Because the last time it was reported it happened, I feel like there's been a lot of wolves cried in our time here in Waco.
About snow?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's gonna happen this time. I have no holds bar. I have no reservations that it's going to snow.
Are y'all pro snow, or what's the verdict in the studio right now?
I'm gonna go pro snow. Put me down for pro snow. Pro snow.
I like snow.
Okay.
I don't like
it. It's hard to drive.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of that. It's like pretty irritating when you put your hands into it. Like, it's fun for like 30 minutes, but I mean after that you're like, wish there was clean roads and normal weather outside.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me.
No, I think I agree with that.
Also, T-Rex texts and says on Riverman Liquor and Wine text line and says, hey, are you guys taking calls this afternoon? And I'm going to have to tell him no.
We're not.
Because
JD would not hear us.
Would not be able to hear T-Rex and what he has to say. So this caller-driven show that we have today, it's not
today.
It's not a caller show. It's not the fans show. It's Armstrong's show. And JD's show.
I have a topic for
Armstrong's show, baby.
And my show. It's
Start playing the whole time.
Armstrong is taking over the show. Congratulations, Armstrong. You're hired. You're rehired.
Thank you.
In the weather, 11 degrees. 11 degrees tonight. Tonight? Not tonight. What day am I on?
No way.
I don't think that can be. They can't.
No
Tuesday.
way.
That's next Tuesday. 11 degrees. 10 degrees next Tuesday. Single digits in Waco.
No way. That's
Single digit.
ridiculous.
I'm telling you, this is not even fake.
That's
Today,
crazy.
the high is 39. Tomorrow, 37. Going to snow a little bit tomorrow. Going to snow a little bit. Get ready for that. Get ready for that.
Yep.
Friday, 38. Saturday, 35. Sunday, 36. Monday.
Are these highs?
Highs.
Okay.
Highs. Monday, the high is 22 degrees. The low is 6. 6. The Tuesday morning at 4 a.m., it will be 7 degrees in Waco, Texas. Wednesday, it's going to snow again, even more. Yeah. Get on that train. That's
What
crazy.
does it say about global warming? What are we thinking?
Global warming doesn't exist. I've gotten confirmation.
I mean, when
I'm going to go ahead and jump on that train with you. Like, half kidding, but like mostly not really kidding at all. So actually not half kidding. I'm pretty serious. This is just fake news.
Yeah, if you hit single digits in Waco.
If you're walking in Waco, you don't want to be walking in Waco this weekend.
Do not want to be walking in Waco.
Not this weekend. No. REB Baylor, won't you look down over me? Yeah. Keep us healthy. Keep us safe. Today's topic, JD, is Armstrong texts me just now. He texted me.
I wanted you to bring it up.
As if you couldn't say it. Just
No, you're the host. I want you to bring it up. I'm just the producer over here.
Oh.
I just wanted you to be able to bring it up in due time.
But this is this is a 3-part organization.
Okay.
This is an operation where we all have, like, you have video on you right now. You can say whatever you want.
That's true.
You can say whatever you want right now.
It's true.
I'm not going to stop you.
Scary.
Armstrong
Scary
sends Waco date ideas.
I was asking.
That's a statement.
Yeah, but I was just reminding you of the topic we had previously discussed.
I was getting ready for it.
And I wanted to hear y'all's opinions.
So, JD, we are going to do SicEm Pick'em today with you because I know I love your SicEm Pick'ems. Also, did you see Andrew Robertson sent us our records today?
I saw that. I saw that. He does a great job telling those up. He's the man when it comes to that.
He does.
I was 6-3 yesterday. You were 2-1 yesterday, so not bad. I was mentioning earlier, I hit a parlay. I'm looking at my totals. I won $387 Monopoly dollars last week. Craziness. Unbelievable. And
there you go.
I lost some Monopoly dollars last week. Last night, parlays, I had Alabama -6.5 and St. John's money line. Neither of those hit. I had Alabama -6.5, West Virginia +6.5. That only one hit. I had West Virginia +6.5, hit. TCU money line, hit. St. John's +1.5. Wah, wah, did not hit. They lost by 3. St. John's really just screwed me over yesterday. And then, how about this? Alabama money line, Arkansas money line, Michigan State money line, Auburn money line, TCU money line, 5-team parlay, Monopoly money for your day. It all hit.
Let's go. Did you flip the Arkansas pick?
I did.
After the stew?
I did.
Okay, I like it.
After
Can't
the
go
show.
get the pigs, baby. Woo pig. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Alabama won by 3. Arkansas won by 1. Michigan State won by like 3. Auburn won by like 3. TCU won by like 3. All of those were tight, super tight, but they all hit.
I love it. And a lot of those lines were pretty close. Like, I think Michigan State was -3.5. So good for you going money line and not going the spread there.
True.
Wise move. I like it. Are you betting primarily still the parlays, or what's the flavor of the week right now?
You know, what I've gotten into is there have been a pretty good amount of like 1 o'clock games the last week. So I'll put a straight on a 1 o'clock game, and then I get impatient because I get impatient. So I'll put a straight on a 1 o'clock game, and that kind of determines what my night's going to look like. So if that hits, I'll go a little bit tougher on the parlays. But yeah, I'm shooting majority parlays right now. I don't know. Straights are just there's not a lot of Monopoly money to be made betting straights.
Yeah, my thing is, if you can just get the majority of them right, then you're in the positive. And that's sort of become my approach. Is like, hey, can I just net something positive here? I've lost too much over the course of the years. Can I just stay positive? 55%, that's positive. So we're rolling with it.
True. Yeah. So our current records right now in the SicEm Pick'em, JD, after going 2-1 yesterday, you are now at 16-13 overall. Not bad.
Love it.
After going 6-3 yesterday, I am now hitting at 65-43. So there's a lot of disparity in how many games we both picked.
Yep.
But
win percentage is about the same, though, isn't it? We're about, you're what, 60%?
60%. You're 55%. So yeah, I mean, win percentage is what we're looking at right here.
We're just shooting shots. Shoot or shoot.
Also, T-Rex now texts, like I care about Sunshine wearing a CS pullover, La Vega for life. So respond to that how you will.
I know he's from Las Vegas.
Yep, he is a big Las Vegas guy. Speaking of, I went to Las Vegas this past weekend. Also, I got a haircut yesterday.
It looks good.
Thanks, man. Haircut, glasses, got some.
I can't even see it through Zoom. It looks good, yeah.
I can't tell the folks at home exactly what's coming, but there's some merch coming today, actually, that I'm gonna that I think I will get from our gal Ruth. Ruth needs a shout out.
There we go.
Also,
okay, yeah, Ruth does it phenomenal. I'm excited to see what that ends up being.
Not only that, but I have officially, you heard it here first on Uptempo, I have accepted the job as the Baylor softball public address announcer. So I will be the voice of Getterman Stadium this season.
There we go. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Now batting. That right there. And guess what? On the games that I can't make, guess who's going to fill in?
Armstrong Sims of Armstrong's Minute.
Let's go.
They're just going to run a continuous Armstrong's Minute at Getterman Stadium.
No betting.
Do you want to do it? You can. No. Okay, JD is going to be the guy. JD and I are going to tackle it together, right, JD?
I think that's a better idea.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to jump in head first. We're going to keep swinging for the fences here. I'm all about it.
We're going to tackle it together.
Happen to be aboard.
No betting.
No betting.
For your
bow, 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 bow,
Lady
bow.
Bear.
You going to play your own music? You going to sing your own music? You're going to sing the walk-up songs? La-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Good luck with that. All right, we're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to play a little, how about Bear Game? Nope, SicEm Pick'em. SicEm Pick'em. And we're going to break down what is the best date spot in Waco, Texas. And there's a reason why we're going to break that down. That I don't know if it will stay classified. It's not my reason to tell.
I don't know.
All right, I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. JD Pickell is in a submarine at the bottom of the ocean, and that's why he sounds weird, but he's got a 4K camera. This is Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome into Up-Tempo. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Drake Toll and J.D. Pickell on the inside the Patty Clinic. I'm inside the Patty Clinic Low T Bears Den. J.D. is inside of a Russian... what were those called? They weren't Russian. They were German. A German U-boat at the bottom of the Rhine River Valley. Inside of the Rhine River.
Did you mention that yesterday?
A German U-boat? I mentioned the Rhine River.
You just learn about that in class or something?
No, I will never forget. Like, I remember the Rhine. I think it was like AP geography in high school, and they were like, yeah, never forget the Rhine. It was like the most important part of World War II or something.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I forgot the Rhine already, but that's good that it's good that they talked about that.
Really? You know what
I
else?
remember the Rhine Fire had a great NFL Europe team. I remember that. They were awesome. What was it? Frederick Jackson. Remember the Rhine Fire? He was unbelievable.
You know what else we should never forget?
Alamo.
The Alamo. We already had that conversation once this week, and Armstrong already
Remember
forgot.
the Alamo. Remember Goliad.
What?
You don't know that?
No.
Well, I did take 4,000 level Texas history at Baylor University, so what can I say?
4,000 level. You got all the way up to 4,000?
Senior, baby.
They let you get to 4,000?
They let you take whatever.
Nuts.
It was an elective.
J.D. Pickell, today, before we get into Sick 'em Pick 'em, breaking news that only we on Up-Tempo know today. And we're going to hit a break real quick, and Armstrong's going to call us brother.
I always have to deny these reports.
I love that. What is the whack? What is the whack?
I literally had to have him explain to me, please tell me what the whack is.
JD's just vigorously typing whack, 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 whack.
Whack, 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 whack.
But we did. We learned what the whack was and is and what it will be. But today, Armstrong, do you want to announce this yourself, or do you want me to bring this into the world?
I can tell him, because she's definitely not listening.
Why wouldn't she be listening?
Because she didn't even know I do this. But maybe she's listening because she loves Drake Toll. But I'm going on a date Friday night. And all my ideas are outdoor activities, but it's going to be literally freezing.
7 degrees, yeah.
Oh.
So I need some Waco date ideas.
So, JD, I don't mean to commandeer this ship, but the way that I don't mean to commandeer this U-boat. But the way we're gonna start this is Armstrong's gonna give us his outdoor date ideas, and we're gonna rate them on a scale of 1 to 10.
No, that's not how this is
and
going to go.
Action, Armstrong. What are your outdoor date ideas?
No, I need ideas from y'all. I'm coming for ideas from y'all.
Okay, but what were your ideas you already had cooking up in the stew?
Well, we'll just get some indoor ideas.
But what were your outdoor ideas?
I'm not gonna.
Like
I'm
a
not gonna tell you.
picnic, Cameron Park, a waterfall. You know.
A waterfall.
Yeah.
Is there a local waterfall?
There is a local waterfall. I've been.
I did not know that.
I didn't either until I
that wasn't on the list, but maybe that would be.
Not the Gannett.
Maybe
what's it called?
Maybe I'll add the.
What's it called? What's the waterfalls in Waco called?
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's a waterfall in Waco. I've been over there. It's neat. I took a picture there. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Don't take her there though. It'll be 12 degrees. So you're not going to tell us any of your outdoor ideas.
No, I just want y'all's ideas.
Okay, JD, you start. You're the one that's got a girlfriend.
Indoors tough. So I didn't know that we were going to be going indoor. Outdoor, there's horseback riding, which is like 10 out of 10. But with 12 degrees, that's probably less enjoyable. Indoor, you could go axe throwing, kind of high risk, high reward.
You could die, but much fun.
Well, not so much die as much as like she just might not be an axe thrower. Like I pitched axe throwing to my girlfriend, and she was like, "That doesn't sound like that much fun." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." Here's the thing, though. Yep. Whatever you do, I would say the aim is to get both of y'all out of your comfort zone. It's a first date, right? So both of you will be a little bit reserved, maybe keeping a close eye on your own mannerisms. Okay. Something that makes you just both be ridiculous, like whether you go and like even if it's as simple as like y'all YouTube a salsa dance, that would be hilarious. You both try to learn how to do salsa. I think that would be hysterical. Okay. But you could also just go Chick-fil-A and go and do a drive-in movie or what else? I think those would be my big ones. I think axe throwing is a solid thing to try out.
This guy's big on the axe throwing. Yeah, this guy circled back around to axe throwing.
When you said out of the comfort zone, just something crazy, I was thinking arcade. Is there like an arcade? Is that a thing?
Arcade could be fun. Yeah, competitive. Get the juices flowing. So my parents, they went skiing and they did not hit it off. They got back and played ping pong. Here I am.
Wow, that was quick. That went really fast.
It escalated quickly.
Yeah. It was weird. I was there on their first date, but
it's a love story. Baby, just say yes. I want to extend my sincerest congratulations to you on going on this date.
I wasn't searching for that.
I will say, date number one. I like the idea of keeping date number one kind of short and sweet.
Yeah, short.
Where you feel it out. I think if you extend it to a drive-in movie, it makes it more intimate. Not necessarily in a negative way, like not like hot and heavy intimate, but like we're gonna spend 3 hours together in a tight close quarter. That's kind of tough.
In the burb.
You
seen my car?
Yeah,
a '93 Chevy.
Is that what you're taking?
Suburban. Yeah, of course. That's my car.
I saw you driving the other day. I can always tell when it's you.
Of course, that's what
else can you take?
The burb.
Borrow your friend's Ferrari, obviously. I say you do. You borrow your friend's Tesla, you turn on a little fire feature, and you sit back and really. I don't like the idea of bowling. Don't take her bowling for the first date.
Yeah,
bowling's just weird and awkward and sweaty.
I can agree with that.
Axe throwing is a thing that you could do. Take her skydiving. You would freeze. You would absolutely freeze.
Skydiving in freezing temperatures.
Legitimately, what I would do though is I would try to keep it under like 45 minutes. Like really, my idea.
That's too short. That's way too short.
Ideally is you feel something out. You don't want to be pinned in any awkward situations. You want to make up the small talk. Okay. But so what I say is you start with that. You start with your 30, 45 minute date. You start with your, let's grab dinner here or coffee here. I'm a big let's grab coffee, and then you see where the conversation goes. And if it's like, okay, yeah, conversation's really nailing it. It's hitting hard right now. Well, then you're like, hey, also, you want to run and do this real quick? So leave it open. Don't tie yourself to two things. Like, hey, we're going to do this and then we're going to do that. Because maybe you won't want to go do that afterwards. You got to play the field here. You can't be like, oh, yeah, I know I'm going to love it. Because maybe if you really think about it, you don't love this date. It might not go well. Yeah, so you have something planned that's about a 30 or 45-minute excursion. If it goes well, you're like, hey, also, we could do this if you want to. And then next thing you know, you guys are in the burb. You're driving around. You go to Cameron Park. You take her out to the overlook. You overlook it. It's freaking cold.
Is that safe at night?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's safe.
Okay.
Yeah, there's railing and stuff.
I mean, not like me falling, but like I've heard Cameron Park is pretty sketch at night.
If anybody picks a fight with you, Armstrong, they need to be worried about their safety.
Yeah.
JD, thoughts?
You know what? I think if you go 45 minutes, it's dangerously short to where at that point you're already like opting out of the second date. Like the second date is not, an option after 45 minutes. I think Drake has a good point though. Like something with built-in exits I think is crucial, but also something where you can continue to have a good time that night. So I'm with, I think coffee's a good way to go. I do think something competitive, not necessarily bowling, is a good way to go.
I've got an idea.
Like, how close are y'all?
Not close.
You ever met her?
Met her.
Hardly know her.
I've met her.
But
coffee's a good way to go. Coffee gets my vote.
I
don't know. Okay.
What time's the date?
Later, because I get off work at 6.
Where do you work?
So what you do for
right
work.
here. That's what I do.
Until
this is what I do.
So let's
every
go.
Day.
Let's go for like a hey.
Can't believe it.
Do you want to grab where's a good coffee place you can get a little bite to eat? Man, I just don't like the idea of getting stuck with dinner. Pinewood.
I think
phenomenal idea.
Dinner's heavy though.
I don't know. I mean, I did ask her
Dinner
out.
can be quick depending on where you go. I think you also want to make sure you get to know this girl.
Mm-hmm.
I did ask her out on a date, not coffee. Very specific.
Yeah.
So
to make sure.
Are you open access to a Wii near you? Is there a Wii near you? It would be so much fun to take her back and play like Wii bowling.
Anyways,
Wii bowling. Wii bowling.
Are you picking her up, Armstrong?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you picking her up in?
The Burb.
Oh.
I like how we're planning this out. I just wanted Waco date ideas, and I thought it would be a fun topic. I wish we could open up to callers.
But we can't.
I think BJ's is a great idea. Go BJ's and then order for each other. That's hilarious.
But it's a first date.
Order for each
It's a first date.
But you're both uncomfortable. I think you learn a lot about her. If she orders you salmon, then this is not the girl for you.
Then I would die.
My computer just shut down.
I'm allergic to salmon. For you.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Armstrong's well, she killed him on the first date, but hey, now she knows. It just wasn't meant to be.
30 to 45 minutes. That's what it would be. Quick, painless. Maybe not painless. Be quick.
Painless for her. Okay.
It would be painless.
Go to BJ's, get a Pizookie, share a Pizookie. That's intimate. I don't know, man. First dates,
I don't really like that word.
I love the idea of like coffee on the first date or something that's very chill and low key, and you learn a lot about each other in a short but also constructive and in-depth conversation. And then if things go well, you can be like, hey, let's go, I've got a Wii. You want to play the Wii? And then, oh my gosh, girls love the Wii. I'm telling you, the Wii is a chick magnet. Go back and play some Wii bowling. No one's ever turned down Wii bowling. And if she does turn down Wii bowling, she's not the one for you.
Wii bowling sounds more interesting than bowling.
Yeah.
One more idea.
All right.
Hear me out on this.
Hear him out.
Drive-through roulette. You just drive through 3 or 4 places. You hit Sonic for a drink, somewhere for food, somewhere for dessert. And you just roll with it. You learn a lot about her. You get a lot of time in the car. Get a lot of time talking. Kind of funny.
Spend a ton of gas.
I think that's also a good move.
I kind of like this idea. Although, yeah, the burb does burn like 7 miles per gallon type. Just.
Is she not worth that to you?
It does have a 43-gallon tank.
Is she not worth that to you?
It costs me like $100 to fill up every time.
Is she not worth it?
I'm about to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point of the date.
Okay, so you know what? Lock that in. Drive-through roulette. I love it.
Roulette is a great idea.
You pick the first place, then she picks the second place, and then you pick the third, and she picks the fourth. You get a drink at one, then you get a side, then you get an entree, then you get a dessert.
This is interesting. This is very interesting.
Or you could do, if you want to do sit-down roulette. You could do sit-down roulette,
You do sit-down roulette.
That's interesting.
Lock that in. Sit-down roulette. You a big water guy when you go to a restaurant? You get a water?
I get a water.
You think she's a water girl? What does she look like?
I have no idea.
Really? Because
Oatly?
I know what she looks like. Oatly.
She gets ow, no cow. What do you think?
Wow, no cow. If she said wow, no cow, I'd be like, all right.
Better. Okay, so you're going to be in the car for a while. Do you have Bluetooth?
Yeah.
What's her music style? Do you know anything like that?
No, I know.
So then what's move number 1 when she gets in the car?
Hey, DJ.
What?
I like it. I think you pick 2 songs and say you're up next, or you just say, hey, you got the 6. Let's go. I like it. I like it, Armstrong.
All right. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I will. That's leader in the clubhouse right now.
Leader?
I hardly know her. And I think now it's time for Sick 'em Pick 'em.
Okay. Also on that though, music's a big thing. Ask her taste, maybe tailor to it. Also, JD, I want your advice here. You're the one that has the girlfriend long term. Do you should Armstrong open the door for her when he goes to pick her up, or is that too much?
Yeah, I absolutely am.
So I think first date, that's a good move. It's kind of high risk, high reward. I think there's no wrong way that gets played.
It's like axe throwing.
Like, oh my gosh, that was I think like there's no way where she's like, I didn't like that he opened my door. I think it does offer the potential for her to like stiffen up a little bit because she didn't expect you to do that, but she will also be like, okay, he's a gentleman. That was impressive.
It's like a date.
I've continued to open the door since the first date, and she's told me multiple times, hey, you don't need to do that. So I'm like, okay, well, I think it plays well first date. So I don't think there's a wrong way to go about it, but my instinct is yes, go for it.
Interesting. I didn't even know that was a.
Is double function assumption a real thing?
I would just assume that.
I don't know. See, I'm not sure. I've heard it is, but I don't know. Is it? I think it is.
I am. I don't know. I want to stop talking because I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, you're.
Have you double functioned?
He's thinking about double functioning. I can
tell.
tell.
Are you thinking about double dipping on the function?
We're on a public radio. We are nationally syndicated right now.
Listening. No one's listening.
I cannot give away personal information about my relationship or dating life. How much? How much?
Armstrong's whole first date.
I just did.
The closest thing I've ever gotten.
You got to give it up for content.
I don't release any personal information on this show.
She's not listening anyway.
The only thing I talk about that's personal to me on this show is my parents, and that's it. Everything else, Baylor related. It's a Baylor take on your lunch break, not a Drake Toll take. You guys don't need the inside, you know?
I just revealed I'm going on a date. I just revealed I'm going on a date and asked for advice for content. If I can do that, so can you. But I think it's time for Sick 'em Pick 'em.
It's Sick 'em Pick 'em time! Ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da. I'm 65-43. JD is 16-13. the large disparity in those numbers. Today's SicEm Pick'em. Mike also. My computer shut down, so I do not have a computer for the SicEm Pick'em. So I'm doing this completely. We're balls to the wall, free balling it. I don't know. High risk, high reward. It's like axe throwing. It's like open the door for it.
There's a shirt.
Open the door for it. It's like axe throwing.
Like axe throwing.
It's just
game, safe prizes.
It's hit or miss. Safe game, safe. Dangerous games. Axe throwing. UConn and Providence. UConn minus 1.5. Lock it in as a straight today on my Monopoly Pick'em, JD.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I saw Jordan pick that as well. They're at Providence. 9-3 against the spread, 7-2 in conference games. UConn minus 2.5 is a gimme. Also, we're going to double dip. You talked about double function assumption. Houston at South Florida. Houston did us dirty. Both of us, Drake. Last time they did us dirty. It was minus 16. They lost. They lost. They did horrific. But I'm going to go ahead and try them again. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. I like them against South Florida. The spread is like, what, 7.5 or something like that? I like them with the spread, whatever it is.
I think it's 12.
South Florida's not horrible against the spread, but I like it.
I think it's 12.
Okay, well, there you
it's
go.
12.5.
My money's going on South Florida.
Do you know?
My money's going on South Florida then.
Do you know why my money's going on Houston?
Tell me.
South Florida's last game was played on January 9th. Today is February 10th.
Ooh. I like that a lot. Yeah, okay, there we go. Let's lock it up then.
Let's lock it up. Houston minus 12.5. What do you think about old Virginia and Georgia Tech? Virginia's a 4-point favorite on the road.
I like that. I haven't watched a ton of either team, quite frankly. I like Virginia. I think 4 points is safe. I like a more money line. I don't know what that money line looks like. I like
money line.
Georgia Tech's been decent this year, though. I don't want to count them out. I'm probably not touching that game, but if I had to pick a side, I like Virginia minus 4.
Last time Georgia Tech played at home, they beat Notre Dame. The time before that, they beat Florida State. Two pretty good teams. Georgia Tech's pretty solid at home. I like Virginia on a money line tonight. I agree with you. I don't know about 4, but I think a 2 or 3 point win for Virginia is not out of the question. What Drake in Northern Iowa?
I was going to say, money's got to go on Drake, right? Minus 9.5. Jordan was saying he had it at 11.5, so smart money is going on Northern Iowa, but it's at home. Drake, I think they lost their last game against the spread, but still, they cover like it's their job. I don't see them dropping 2 in a row against the spread. I think they cover this one pretty handily.
Not only did they not, they did drop 2 in a row against the spread. They beat Valparaiso by 3, and they were supposed to win by 13. Then they lost to Valparaiso by 17. So, I don't know. I like Drake, but I'm leery of making that pick, man. I really am. Boston College and Wake Forest. I love Wake Forest in this one tonight.
Yeah. They're great in conference games against the spread. They're 5-8 versus Boston College, 3-11. Kind of a sleepy game, but when it comes to the numbers, Wake Forest is a clear pick here. I like them a lot. I'm with you. Minus 1.5. If I had to go money line, I'd go Wake Forest, but I think minus 1.5. You might as well just go with the numbers there.
You got Boston College has played 1 game since January 16th. That was a loss to NC State at home by 16. I don't like NC State. I think Wake Forest gets the win. Minus 1.5 tonight. Wichita State at Central Florida. The American Conference has been insane this season. What do you like in that one?
Wichita State's won their last 3. UCF hasn't played a game in about a week or 2, but you know what? Honestly, I probably like Wichita State. I don't know if I like them with 2. I think I like a money line a lot more, but when it's 2 points, 1.5 points, you might as well go with the points. Yeah, they won the last 3. They're pretty hot. They beat UCF last time they played in overtime. That was the end of January. It was 93-88. Took overtime. This time, I'm taking them. I like Wichita State a lot. They got to go to UCF this time, which is different, but I'm taking Wichita State minus 2.
Wichita State minus 2 in the SicEm Pick'em. All right, next up we've got, let's see here. There's a lot of mid-majors that I like, but I want to go to Rutgers, Iowa. 25 Rutgers. They are 6.5 point dogs right now to Iowa tonight on the road. Iowa at home, Luka Garza. They've just been okay lately. They did not impress me at all against Michigan State. Iowa's been a tough pick. What do you think about that one, JD?
You know, that's the thing. Rutgers is playing well right now, too. Iowa's sort of lumbering around. Rutgers run the last 4, the last 5, beat Minnesota at home. So, you know, I don't know. I probably like Iowa to cover, or maybe not to cover, to money line this one. I don't love points. I think 6.5 is a lot, especially with how they're playing as of late. So I think Iowa gets it done at home. By how much, I don't know. I don't think 6.5 is a good number, but money line with Iowa. A lot of money lines today, Drake.
Money line with Iowa. You know, Rutgers, they've been pretty solid lately. They have won 4 straight now. 4 straight at Indiana versus Michigan State by 30, at Northwestern, and against Minnesota. It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game. Iowa lost their last home game to Ohio State by 4. Give me Rutgers plus 6.5 tonight. Rutgers has been playing well. I like Rutgers plus 6.5. Tennessee at home, 12.5-point favorites against Georgia.
I was looking at this. I think I like Tennessee 12.5. I don't know for a fact. I'm probably going to look at this one a little bit longer. But Tennessee 12.5. I like that. Georgia's playing well right now. They beat Auburn at Auburn, and Auburn's no slouch of a club. They beat Vanderbilt at home, only by 3 though, so it kind of raises an eyebrow or two. But I like Tennessee. They just put on a good showing at Kentucky. They're playing well for the most part, outside of that slip up at Ole Miss. But I like Tennessee. I think they're going to cover the 12. I don't feel great about that, but I would say there's like 7 out of 10 confidence in that one.
Georgia has won 3 straight. Tennessee has lost 2 out of their last 3. I don't like what the Volunteers are doing 2 out of their last 5. They're 3-2 in the last 5. They lost at Ole Miss by 2. I don't think Tennessee covers 12.5 tonight. I've got Georgia plus 12.5. Tennessee's kind of reeling right now under Barnes. Outside of that, JD, is there anything else that really stands out to you tonight?
It's kind of a lot of sleepy games outside of that. I think you look at Wisconsin minus 11 against Nebraska. 11 is kind of a lot, but Nebraska's pretty trash. San Jose State, San Diego State go again. It's up to San Diego State minus 30 this time. San Jose State lost by 31 a couple days ago when they played, so maybe you take a peek at that. Anything over 25 points, though, I just don't feel great about taking. So some interesting action, but I'm probably going to go ahead and just stick with those 3. As you know, I'm sort of picky when it comes to these things.
Picky. Pun. I also will say,
I didn't mean to do that. That's funny.
I like Missouri. Missouri's won their last 3. They are at Ole Miss tonight. Missouri, 2.5 point, the number 10 in the country, 2.5-point dogs after beating Alabama at home, beating Kentucky, and beating TCU. I love a moneyline Missouri tonight at Ole Miss, as Ole Miss is favored. That's bad. I don't know why that happened.
I think Missouri's actually favored.
No,
it says Miss. Is that Miss or is that Miss?
Miss. That's Mississippi. Ole Miss is favored.
So right. Ole Miss is favored. I apologize. I'm far off.
I don't know how Ole Miss is favored in that. And then LSU, Mississippi State. Mississippi State a 1.5-point favorite at home. I don't want to touch it. Wisconsin at Nebraska. Wisconsin minus 11. If you have a money line on that one, take it. And like you said, San Diego State and San Jose State. I like San Jose State plus 30, but who knows at this point. Celebrity birthdays today. You know, we're going to do green and blank game, but who are we going to play it with? We can't take callers. You and JD in green and blank game. All right, I'm fine with that. Yeah, all right, green and blank game today. And then we'll do celebrity birthdays. I'm finding my celebrity birthdays. Green and blank game. First word, JD against Armstrong, is car. I have my word.
All right, I'm ready. You ready, Armstrong?
Yep. Armstrong?
2. So it's Cars 2.
Cars 2. JD?
That's funny. I would say Cars race.
Car race. Okay.
Wow. I said berater.
Yeah. Carburetor. That's nice. Like it.
I said berater. Pot.
I'm ready.
I got it.
Okay, Armstrong?
Pot belly.
Pot belly.
That's pot sticker, which is tremendous at BJ's, Armstrong, if you get that.
Pot sticker?
Pot sticker.
Pot sticker.
Yeah. You know what those are?
Butt liquor.
The dumplings, they're phenomenal.
Our prices
very, very
have never
good.
been lower.
Yeah, I said pot.
If you had butt, I would absolutely do. Never mind. What'd you have?
Potter.
Potter, okay.
Bowl.
Ooh. I think I'm ready. What about you, Armstrong?
I had bowling for soup.
I had bowling.
I had Boll Weevil. Boll Weevil. That's a real mascot at my home state.
Okay.
I don't know what Boll Weevil is. That's
this
funny.
is easy.
I should
This
have
is
done
easy.
bowling.
Screen.
All right.
Ready? On 3.
1,
Savor.
2. 2, 3. Saber.
Door.
Screen door. Wow.
Interesting.
Wow, I didn't even think of screensaver at all.
Tape.
I wonder.
Okay.
I put tape gun.
Tape gun.
Recorder.
Tapeworm.
Tapeworm. Those things are scary.
Light.
Obvious answer here.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're going to say.
A lightsaber.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
Lightning bug.
Lightning bug.
So Ning bug.
Just try to be make it 10 words long.
And cash.
Money.
Cash money. I had a cash app.
I had cash. Me outside. How about that?
I knew there was going to be something about that.
All right, celebrity birthdays. Emma Roberts turns how old today, JD?
I'm going to say Emma Roberts is 27.
Armstrong?
40.
Gosh, why are you the way that you are? She's 30 today.
Oh, okay.
Roberta Flack. Famous singer, Roberta Flack.
Killing me softly. I'm going to say she is...
He knows.
Wow.
Let's say 60.
80.
84. How?
Wow.
He knew who she was, and he... Yeah, okay, anyway.
Elizabeth Banks.
What's she in? I have no idea.
I don't know, but she's super famous. I noticed. I recognize her.
28.
Banks?
I don't know.
I'm going to say she's 25.
47. Elizabeth
I was
Banks.
just randomly guessing.
Then we did... There are no birthdays today again. It's happening again.
It happens every week.
It happens at least one day every week. I already said Elizabeth Banks, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You did already.
Why
say
are there no birthdays? There's a bunch of YouTube stars and TikTokers. Do you guys want those?
What website are you using to get these?
Zaza Pachulia's birthday is today.
The Bat Slayer. Oh, no, that was
Manu.
Ginobili.
Yeah.
Zaza.
Let's see.
I got in trouble for a lot of dirty stuff with Kawhi Leonard, right? Like step on his ankle and all that stuff. That was Zaza. I'm going to say Zaza is...
Oh, we got...
give me 39.
We got Zaza, 50.
37 for 50. He plays in the NBA.
I didn't know that. We have
still in the league?
Laura Dern. Laura Dern was born today.
Oh, freaking no way. Laura Dern was born today?
Yeah. Did you already say her?
Is she still alive?
Yeah, Laura Dern.
No way. She's still alive?
You know who this is?
No, not an idea, not a clue.
I don't know who she is. I don't have a darn clue.
All right, well, guess how old she is. I'm just doing math here.
Laura Dern is at the ripe age of 73.
73. All right.
Laura Dern is, I'm going to say, 86.
She's 54.
Wow, I win.
Laura Dern was in Jurassic Park. She was also the lady with purple hair in the new Star Wars Last Jedi. She's also in Marriage Story.
What?
She's
that
pretty
Laura
famous,
Dern.
actually.
That
now
Laura
I
Dern?
understand why you always read actors and people I never heard of.
Yeah.
And then people like Laura Dern, you don't like. I would know that.
Yeah,
you know?
never heard of Laura Dern. George Stephanopoulos' birthday is today. The guy from Good Morning America.
Okay.
No idea. Let's say 57.
Hey, you 60 today. Very well done.
Thank you.
Baseball outlaws pitching involving tampering with a ball in what year?
You would hope pretty early on.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 1921.
That was a.
I'm going to say 50.
It's a 1920 piece. 1920.
Wow. You were right there.
Yeah.
We're flirting with it.
1969. I already gave you. I gave you the year. I literally gave you the year.
Okay. What? Oh, you were supposed to guess what happened.
Yeah. What happened on this day in
tennis? Something in tennis.
Nope. Pete Maravich scores 66 points.
Pistol Pete.
In a loss to Tulane for LSU, 101-94.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Except for they did. Tulane did.
A bunch of other stuff. Sochi Olympic large hill ski jump champion Andreas Wellinger of Germany wins the individual normal hill gold medal at Pyeongchang by just 0.2 meters from Norway's Johan Andre Forfang.
Thank you. Wow. Now that you said all of that.
Normal hill? What's normal hill?
I got you. It's 2014.
It is 2018
Really?
Pyeongchang.
Oh, you said Sochi.
I did. He won at Sochi, and then he won again at Pyeongchang.
Okay.
All right.
Rigged.
I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. J.D. Pickell is joining us from a U-boat at the bottom of the Rhine, and hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow. Gosh, we only know. We only know. We're not telling you.
We actually don't. No.
Once again, I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong
God
Sims.
on.
J.D. Pickell. This has been Up Tempo.
Ideal MRI is a small family business right here in Central Texas. We're open to support you while lowering the cost of healthcare bills. When you need an MRI, ask your doctor for an Ideal MRI. Visit us at idealmri.com or call us at 833-IDEAL-MRI.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jeweler, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Cam Heathcott, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Cam Heathcott, covering Conroe and Houston, 936-756-7717 or cam.heathcott@edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.